The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present The Auction by Randy McCall, a Call of Cthulhu scenario with David Larkins as the keeper of arcane lore.
There we go.
Try to with the parents.
Right, that'll be a game. Okay, hopefully that'll work, and if not, then whatever, we'll have our memories. Alright, so, yeah, you guys are a real pair. What did you go with for your names and everything?
Thomas Steinberg.
Mm-hmm. And you are a book dealer.
Book dealer, yeah.
Of somewhat questionable morality.
Yeah. You know, he does what it takes to get the books he wants.
Okay.
But, you know, he feels that they're safest in his hands anyway, so, you know, it's kind of the ends justify the means.
Okay. And Tim, your character?
Sven Hahn.
Uh-huh.
And he's the procurer of said books.
Right. The procurer. Mm-hmm. And so it is in this capacity that you have received an invitation to an auction to be held in Vienna, Austria, by the renowned House of Augsburg. It is an exclusive auction of occult paraphernalia. So, this is the auction catalog that you've received in the mail.
Okay, so a lot of interesting books here.
That's true.
Alright, I'm seeing some interesting stuff. So, a few things stand out immediately looking at this list. The one that strikes me the most, I mean, everything, you know, I'm kind of just going down the list here looking at, you know, we have an Egyptian Ankh for auction in Lot 1. Lot 2 is a manuscript of Beth Elohim. Lot 3 is a multiple lot. Magician's Cassock, embroidered with various signs of ceremonial magic. Hickory Wand. So that's kind of a little intriguing for my particular taste. Lot 4 is a Hand of Glory. Preserved left hand of a human. Very interesting. Lot 5 is a multiple lot also with, seems to be African artifacts. Fetish, a drum. Lot 6 is a book, the Magus. Magus. Lot 7 is a sword, a German sword with the words Azoth engraved on it. Lot 8 is a human skull. Seemed to be inlaid with silver to form a cup. Lot 9 is a riveted brass head, similar to the philosopher's head. Lot 10 is ivory sticks, Ming Dynasty. Lot 11 is the Book of Law by Aleister Crowley. Something I'm guessing my character doesn't have yet.
Maybe not.
Okay. And Lot 12 is a book on the prodigies of the New England canon. Lot 13 is another multiple lot with medallions. Various types from the 17th century. That was Lot 13, so Lot 14 is a book, the Dictionnaire Inferno, by Jacques Collin, 1863. Lot 15 is a shaman medicine bag. And Lot 16 is a gold ring from 19th century Arabia. Okay, yeah. A lot of interesting stuff here. Okay, so this is definitely right up my character's alley. He'd have to take a little more a little closer look at all the items to really know what, you know, he might want to bid on. I mean, this is stuff that kind of maybe a little rich for his blood, but, you know, possibly...
Maybe we can make a deal.
Yeah. Or if nothing else, if at least if we're in that kind of environment, we might run into some other, you know, like-minded individuals that we can kind of
trade
with, yeah, or, you know, work something out. So yeah, definitely. Nothing else, a good kind of learning experience, bit of elbow rubbing. So yeah, let's go for it.
And just as a rule of thumb, everything's listed here in pounds sterling, and that converts to dollars at 1 to 5. So for every $5 is 1 pound sterling.
Okay.
So, before we go, we have, I'm guessing, several artifacts and books of negligible value that we're going to use to barter with.
Well, I mean, for the auction, I think it's just going to be a straight cash auction. But I mean, as far as the, whatever goes on behind the scenes there, I mean, we can certainly. I think we should probably just bring. I'll bring a list of what I consider our disposable books. Whatever that might be, stuff that I'm just not interested in. Duplicates that I might have and stuff like that. But we'll bring that along. And then we'll deal. This is going to be a little different than what we normally do, just because we're going to be dealing pretty much with people that
know what they're doing.
Presumably, yeah. So. You can't really do, maybe take a different tactic, but, yeah, we'll just bring along our inventory book, kind of, our little ledger, so we can use that. Okay?
Alright. So, anything else you want to do before you depart? I mean, obviously you got the invitation, weeks in advance, so there's plenty of time for you.
Yeah, just, a couple days before I go get a haircut, mustache trim, and shave.
I'll pack. How long are we going to be away for?
Well, the auction's only one night, so it's however long you want to pad out on either side.
Okay, so we'll say a day or two on either side, just kind of.
Yeah, like a weekend.
Because we're going to need some time before and after to kind of meet with other people. Oh, hey, let's go out to dinner, or meet someone at their house, just to kind of do all that social stuff. So I'm thinking, we'll pad out a couple days either side. We'll just make 5 days of it. So I'll pack, kind of small steamer trunk with some changes of clothes and all toiletries, and I'll have my parrot, in his little kind of traveling cage.
Does your parrot have a name?
My parrot does have a name.
Parrot Face.
No, his name's not Parrot Face. German.
No, his name's not Parrot Face.
Let's see. We'll call him. I was going to call him Sven, but that's your character's name.
Oh, shit.
Actually, maybe I should.
Oh, that's kind of funny, actually.
We'll call him Little Sven.
Don't name me after the dog.
Little Jerry Seinfeld.
I'll come back to you on that. I don't know what his name is yet.
I'm sure it will come to you. Alright, so, let's see here. Okay. So you guys board train at
I came up with my parrot's name.
Oh, what is it?
Albert.
Nice. Albert the parrot.
After his idol.
Oh, of course. Yes. Alright, so you guys board the train at the Berlin Hauptbahnhof and take it south into Austria. And so you arrive in due time. It is mid-autumn. It is October 12th, 1931. And Austria is not in the best shape, thanks to the worldwide depression and its struggles with the aftermath of the First World War from 13 years previous. And in fact, this is why you find yourselves in this position of being able to, make some bank off of stuff like this, is that many members of the former Austro-Hungarian nobility have been driven into poverty and have had to divest themselves voluntarily or involuntarily of their various collections. And so times are good for unscrupulous dealers in antiquities such as yourselves. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Guilty as charged.
So,
Paying market value.
Yes, of course. Market value. Let's see here. What kind of accommodations would you like?
Cheapest.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll need to save our money for other stuff, so we'll...
Very well.
maybe not the cheapest, but we'll go...
Well, do you want to go with dingy or disgusting?
Dingy?
Those are...
What's above dingy and disgusting?
Above dingy is comfortable.
I think comfortable.
Comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know about dingy, definitely.
That's £1 per night per person.
Okay.
So that'd be $5 a night. So we wanted to stay for 5 nights.
It's $25.
Yeah. So you would have to pay out of your available cash for that.
And I don't even have $25.
Let's talk dingy.
Let's talk dingy. Dingy is 10 shillings per night.
Ooh.
The Austrians have, of course, their own native currency, but it's so devalued at this point that almost all business is conducted in British currency.
Okay. Is this, we're staying at the Der Red Roof Inn?
Der Rote Roof.
Is there more Channel 6?
Yes, no, this is just a, little converted walk-up kind of deal. Flop house, squeaky bed spring mattresses and stains in the bathtub and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Think Barton Fink,
Okay.
hotel room he stayed in.
That's character.
Huh?
That's character.
Has character, exactly. So that would be $2.50 a night, 10 British shillings per night. So for 5 nights, then that would be $12.50.
You said if it's under 10, we don't have to worry about it?
Under 10, yes, but you have to look at the whole cost. So
I'm thinking we stay for 3 nights.
Nice.
That's $7.50.
Well done. Well munchkin. All right. So you're 3 nights in Vienna. All right. So, of course, obviously, courtesy demands that you meet with the head of the auction house and just, sort of RSVP in person. So.
Is this have they been to these before?
Oh, yes.
Yes. I'm familiar with it. Now, what kind of, side deals tend to go on? Are there, is it kind of one of those things where there's the main auction, but there might be little side auctions going on or private deals kind of happening?
You can definitely look forward. The auction house is not going to be interested in anything.
Yeah.
They're busy with this, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like if you had a whole lot of other stuff you wanted to auction, you could approach them and be like, hey, let's set something up for further down the road.
Yeah.
But in terms of unloading stuff on this trip, your best bet is going to be kind of mingling with the other auction guests.
So I'm thinking that's probably where we're better off now.
Mm-hmm.
Is we'll bring our list of what we consider disposable items, I said like duplicates and things that I've already gone through and this is rubbish. There's nothing in here, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That we'll try to sell at a premium to interested parties that kind of miss out on the actual auctions. Dang, I almost won. And then hey, well, I noticed you're interested in Egyptian. I have this rare treatise on,
mm-hmm.
blah blah blah, and then try to make a little money so we can, eat. and then we'll actually collect our books from our normal sources, which is going to private
mm-hmm.
residences,
estate sales,
that kind of stuff.
Excellent.
So this is more, this is less about us acquiring and more about us trying to unload product.
So Alex, let me get your character's name one more time.
Sure. Character's name is Thomas Steinberg.
Steinberg. Okay. And Parrot's name is Albert.
Albert.
And then Tim, you're Sven. What?
Han.
Sven Han. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So the train rolls into Vienna about mid-afternoon after a 2-day train journey. After retrieving your trunks,
mm-hmm.
or your suitcases more likely,
you
hail a cab and get checked in at a downtown hotel.
Okay.
So, yes, the auction is scheduled for the following day. I think it says on the catalog there when it's scheduled.
Let's see. No.
Nope, doesn't.
No.
Okay. It is scheduled for 1 p.m. the following day.
Okay.
And so, whenever you want to head by to introduce yourselves.
So I think we'll. So it's scheduled for the following day, but is there anything going on right now? Like, is there kind of any social gatherings or any little mixers or anything? I mean, assuming it's kind of a bit of a social event as well. Like,
yes.
I think it's kind of like a convention kind of thing.
Yeah, really. Yeah, you haven't had any information on that, but again, like when you meet with the guy, when you meet with the head of the auction house, you'll probably find out.
Okay, so I'll meet with them. This is the day before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll head down. We'll put our stuff away. I'll get Albert situated, and head down. So
Okay.
I'm guessing, given. Well, does this hotel then have is it just stairs? Then no, I'm taking no elevator.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's a lift, but it's out of order. So.
Great. So is it possible to get a first floor accommodations or any kind of, or is this just
make a luck roll?
All right. So otherwise,
right.
Otherwise, Sven is going to be carrying me up the stairs.
That's right. So you have a dex of 15.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out mechanically. What do you think? I mean, do you think you can walk somewhat, or are you completely paralyzed?
I think he's for the most part paralyzed.
So your dex of 3 is basically just your upper torso dex.
And even then, that's bad too.
Mm-hmm. And so your move is your move on your wheelchair, basically.
Exactly, yeah, and it's because his strength is high enough. I think his strength is above his size. So he's just got massive upper body. Well, not massive. He's got enough upper body strength to really wheel it. That's where his speed comes from. Now, if he didn't have his wheelchair, his speed would probably be 1 or something.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly.
But his dexterity is also kind of tied in with that too.
Sure,
it's it's more limited mobility than actual manual dexterity or anything.
Okay.
So.
All right, make that luck roll.
Okay. Percentile, and my luck is 75. Here we go.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good chance.
40.
Excellent. So yes, they do have a first floor room available. It's the Hotel Vienna, of course, is the name of the establishment.
Okay.
And it's kind of there's attempts made to make it look fancy. There's a shield with a coat of arms hanging outside.
Yeah.
But it's kind of dingy hotel. It's obviously. Probably much nicer, a generation ago, but it's kind of on the way down.
It looks good in the brochures.
Exactly. So you're taken to your, and you guys are sharing a room or separate rooms?
Probably sharing.
Sharing if it's not unusual to be sharing at the time.
Well, you're 2 gentlemen on business, so,
Yeah, nothing else. No,
you don't mind sharing a bed.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, it's just
my parrot sleeps in bed with me. So, you mind sleeping on the floor? Yeah, that's fine. What's your spending level? Is it $10?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you could get your own room then if you want a munchkin it, because we only spend $7.50.
That's true.
Per person.
That's true.
Okay, yeah, we'll get our own rooms.
Okay. Make a luck roll yourself to see if it's on adjacent in the region of Herr Steinberg's.
What is that? 50. Made it.
Alright, so yeah, you guys are both on the first floor and reasonably close to each other.
Alright.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah. Heading out to meet or introduce yourselves. Alright, so the House of Augsburg, the auction house, is easily accessible by streetcar, only about 10 minutes away. So, of course, getting on a streetcar might be a problem.
I just hitch myself to the back.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
That works.
Yeah, that's great.
Just grab onto a pole as it goes away. You know?
Yeah, and I'll just let go when I'm like hitting. They're making a turn. I'll just keep going straight. Yeah,
that's
right.
perfect.
And I'll just coast to a perfect stop right in front of the concierge.
Right. So you could always take a taxi if you wanted to.
Yeah, I might do that.
All right. So by taxi, it's even faster, and you decamp in front of the House of Augsburg, which of course is a large and impressive-looking granite building. And at the door, there's a brass doorbell, which summons a rather pinched-looking man in a tuxedo. All right. And so he, you give your business card and your credentials, and he brings you inside, and then leads you to a man at a desk, a polished mahogany desk, who kind of interviews you, taking down your, invitation details, name, background, occupation. Obviously, he's like kind of establishing your credit, essentially.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so after about a 20-minute interview, he then takes you down a marble-tiled hallway and into a study with thick carpeting and shelves lined with books, where you encounter a man about 50 years old who is still obviously, busily engaged in work despite the later hour. But as soon as you enter, he dismisses his secretary, turns to you, Herr Steinberg. So glad that you could make it.
Guten Abend. I'll put my hand up.
I am Herr Augsburg. And this is your associate, Herr Hahn, I take it. Good to meet you as well. Thank you so much for coming. I trust the trip was, an easy one. No troubles.
Most pleasant. Thank you for asking.
Of course. Can I offer you a drink from the bar?
Well, I suppose I'm a bit parched after a drink. I would like one.
Yeah, certainly. So the assistant has been kind of lingering, so he heads over. And what will you have?
For now, just water.
An Irish cod bomb.
I'll take a glass of bread.
Certainly. Okay. So as the drinks are being prepared, Herr Augsburg invites you both to come over to the fire a little bit. Takes a seat, indicates for Sven to have a seat as well.
Okay. I'll pull out my cigar case.
Yes.
And pull one out and offer one to him.
Ah, thank you. Yes. Excellent.
So I cut it for him and offer to light it.
He kind of runs it under his nose. Oh, very nice. Yes, thank you. Takes a big pull on it. Very nice. Well, this is an unexpected treat. I've been so busy with the auction preparations, you see.
Shame.
Well, it's my job, and it's somewhat my life as well, and I'd have it no other way. But I'm glad you came by. You've arrived just in time. Actually, the auction has been rescheduled.
Oh.
Yes, it is. It's been pushed back. It's going to be a late champagne dinner given here at Augsburg House, and the auction itself will be held at 11 p.m.
Oh,
wow.
If it's not too forward, might I ask why so late?
Oh, certainly. A few of the participants in the auction wish to keep a low profile. They want it to seem as if they might be selling rather than buying.
I see. It's understandable. It's a effective tactic. Well then, I suppose we'll have to make a few adjustments to our schedule, but shouldn't be anything that derails our plans too much, wouldn't you say, Sven?
Oh, good.
Okay, well, do you know, as being that it's been delayed till later in the evening, have any other social gatherings been planned around it? Any other?
Where are the other guests hanging out at?
What he said?
They're hanging out down at the park. Well, I'm certainly not at liberty to divulge private information.
Oh, no, just wondering where they're spending their free time.
Of course. Well, we have guests of the auction coming in from all over, and you'll get a chance to mix and mingle with them, I'm sure. As I mentioned, we're going to have a little champagne dinner before the auction, so that's the main event, if you will. Plan on being here around 9 p.m., I think.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be plenty of time to...
If you could,
meet the other guests.
sure there's a way to persuade him into giving us a little more info.
So,
Mm-hmm.
you said that they're staying at the Le Chateau?
Well, I'm sure they're staying at a great variety of different establishments.
I made persuade.
Let's see what that's going to do for you.
If it's persuade or fast talk, they both succeeded.
Okay. Let's see. Use persuade to convince a target about a particular idea, concept, or belief through reasoned argument, debate, and discussion. Probably not that.
Seems like a little bit of fast talk. You said they were at the Le Chateau, right? Like, oh no, they're at the...
Right. Fast talk is specifically limited to verbal trickery, deception, and misdirection.
Oh, well, that's what that would be.
Yeah, definitely. So you made your fast talk. Did you make it by half?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Opposing skill and difficulty. Okay.
What's his name again?
Herr Ausberg.
The Herr Ausberg.
Oh, the Herr Ausberg, yes, indeed. Let's see. Difficulty levels based on the opposing factor. In this case, matching social skill. Thus, if the opposing skill is 50% or higher, hard success is required. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. So
my 50% is 37.
Yeah, so that's what's called a hard success, and then the 5% is called an extreme success. So since it takes a playa to know a playa, he's got a pretty decent fast talk as well. So he would have had to
hard roll.
Hard success. Yeah. So he just kind of smiles and he says, I'm not naive or unaware of the opportunity that an event like this presents for gentlemen in your line of work. And the best that I can offer to you is that you'll have plenty of time to talk to everyone tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'm not. Well, Herr Ausberg, you've been most helpful, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you as always. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's time for us to head off and maybe visit the city a bit, so we have some time to...
Of course.
Any recommendations?
Oh, certainly, and he gives you the name of a French restaurant. Tell them I sent you, and the chef will treat you perfectly well.
Thank you so much. I'll shake his hand and...
Sort of picturing him as looking like Ray Fiennes in Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Yes. And please, yes, do enjoy this fine city, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Thank you. Good day, Ausberg.
Good day to you. So, anything you guys want to do before the dinner?
We'll head to this French restaurant.
Of course. Naturally.
We'll hang out at the bar.
Okay.
And mingle with locals.
Yeah, let's
Mingle with locals.
take a look at that menu and see what we're dealing with here. Might be a top ramen night.
Top ramen.
The top ramen.
Le ramen. Yeah, it is very spendy.
Yeah.
Kind of place where there's like 5 items on a chalkboard and it's like prefix, it's just like,
Well, what I'll do is I'll look at the menu and like try to memorize some of it so that I can come back and say, oh, we ate it, da-da-da.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the duck la orange was fantastic.
when really it's probably like hot dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Pick up some bratwurst on the way.
What was the name of that chili dog?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Derailer.
The derailer. Alright, so very good. So yeah, you guys eat on the cheap.
Yeah, we eat across the street.
Exactly. Right. You go to the hot dog stand down the street.
I just observe the menu and what the place is like so I can either, bullshit my way like I've been there.
Yeah.
If I needed to be.
Exactly. Okay. So, obviously, the event is going to be formal dress.
Okay.
Now that I do have nice stuff.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And so, let's see.
I'm gonna bring Albert along to this.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of my thing.
It's a thing that you do.
So he's the guy in the wheelchair with the parrot.
Do you have like a perch on your wheelchair that he sits on?
That's cool. I was just thinking
on the back of the.
I was just thinking, yeah, kind of just,
Because it's like one of those like wicker and wood.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm thinking, I think it has like a high back.
Right.
He just kind of sits on the high back.
Right, exactly.
Doing a little parrot neck thing.
Yeah, a little balancing act. All right, so you guys show up at the Augsburg house the following night around 9 p.m. Unless you want to be fashionably late.
Nope.
No, we're gonna be unfashionably early.
It's our intention to be.
Show up with some potato salad and Tupperware.
Yeah,
we're gonna camp out in front of it like a Black Friday.
Yeah,
way early.
I quit my job to be at this auction. All right, so yeah, as your taxi is pulling up, you can see, somebody already kind of being ushered inside.
Okay.
As his taxi pulls away. So you guys are kind of showing up around the same time as everyone else.
Well, yeah, I mean, it opens at 9, starts at 9. We're there at 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so the same major domo answers the door at your ring and takes your coats and shows you inside.
Uh-huh.
He cocks an eyebrow at the parrot but doesn't say anything.
The parrot's wearing a tuxedo, so.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So I don't know what his problem is.
Right, the parrot came formally dressed.
Question.
Yes.
Does this parrot have a top hat?
No.
That's stupid.
Does he have,
straight up stupid.
Okay, does he have a cane Velcro to his costume?
Stop asking me questions.
Oh my God. So yes, you are shown inside. This time, taken down the side hall to the other wing of the house. And there's a string quartet playing as you are ushered into a room with this sort of green satin wallpaper.
Oh, fancy.
And wainscoting,
Oh, wow.
Parquet floors, and the quartet is over in the corner, stringing away.
Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you see a goodly amount of people, kind of mingling about. Let's see. Well, Any strategies for mingling?
I'm going to make a psychology roll
Okay, sure.
to look for people who are slightly distressed.
Okay, go for it.
Made it.
Great. Let's see.
47 out of 50, by the way. So, yeah.
Thank you. So, good,
Just-
not great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is what you note. It's mostly men. There is one woman in attendance. She's young and gorgeous. Her blonde hair is cut somewhat short and set in curls. She has a rather haughty expression on her face, and is just sort of, sipping champagne from a fluted glass, and entertaining the attentions of a gentleman with barely disguised contempt.
Okay, yeah, I'll come to her rescue.
Alright, good luck. So I'll watch from afar with my glass of champagne.
So, like, you'll just disappear into the crowd sitting down?
Yeah, just my eyes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there's not too much of a crowd. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 other people here. So not a whole lot. Let's see. So, all right. So you approach the lady. The gentleman talking to her is speaking in English. Do you have that as a language?
Nope.
Okay. So, what languages do you have?
Latin and German.
Okay, so yes, he is conversing in English with her, and so as you approach, he kind of breaks off, turns to face you, and says in a French accented German, "Good evening."
Yeah, hello.
Well, you wouldn't have an accent. You're speaking German.
unless you purposely are trying to speak German with an English accent.
Yeah, exactly. I am Michel de Brossavin.
That's wonderful.
Do you have a cult?
Yes. Wait, no. I do not have a cult. Yeah, that's his.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the lady Margaret Jameson. She is an English lady
Ah.
of some means.
Very pleased to meet her.
Mm-hmm. So she kind of extends her hand, like, for you to sort of gently take it, perhaps,
Kiss it?
kiss it, perhaps.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So do the classic smile and wink bullshit.
Okay. And but she just kind of returns your gesture with a sort of lopsided smile. Meanwhile, Thomas, you have been approached by a kind of an older gentleman with a, or not older, but middle-aged gentleman with a rather large mustache. Very refined air about him. And he approaches you and speaks to you in German with a Russian accent. It is not always that we see parrots at these events. Hello, Birdie. He's like kind of reaching out to, pet it or something.
Oh, it's going to snap at him. It's going to snap at him.
So it kind of, maybe backs up a little bit and hisses.
Yeah.
I'm like, Albert, where are your manners? Guten Abend.
Oh, delightful.
Pleased to meet you, Thomas Steinberg.
Count Nikolai Tchaikovsky.
A pleasure, Count. What brings you to the auction, might I ask?
I'm a bit of a collector.
As am I. I find these events lovely to just mingle with those who share the same interests.
I actually run an export house in Greece.
Artifacts?
All manner of things.
Oh,
You can, Why don't you make an intelligence roll?
Alright. Let's see what we got here. Intelligence.
Dear.
Oh, yeah. So we're doing the percentile then?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. We got an 80. Let's see what I'm rolling.
Okay.
Brain, don't fail me now. Oh, 84. I like
Butter. Sculpting.
Sven, why don't you make a listen roll? If such a thing exists. I don't know, is it still there? Does it still exist?
Listen is there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Make a listen roll.
I have a 70 in that, too.
Oh, nice. Alright.
That 24.
24, yeah.
Yeah, great. So from across the room, since you're kind of having this, like...
That's a hard listen, too.
sort of, awkward silence with this Michelle character and Lady Margaret. You hear that name, Tchaikovsky. So now you get to make an intelligence roll.
70.
Doesn't
ring a bell?
Yeah.
So, I'll just say, oh, yes, I run a rare book store out of Berlin.
Do you now?
Yes.
So he reaches in his tuxedo and produces a card and hands it to you.
Okay, so I'll exchange with one of my cards. So I'll look at his card. Well, I'll look at his card first, and then I'll exchange.
Of course.
Does this fill in any blanks when my intelligence failed?
Ooh.
Does it give me maybe a reroll? Am I fishing here?
Yeah, no, you didn't make the roll. So, but yeah, it's just, Nikolai Tchaikovsky, import, export, and there's an address in Greece, and that's about it.
So I give him one of my cards too, which is Steinberg and Hahn, booksellers.
Antiques. Bookselling. Yeah.
A lot of little. It's very intriguing, It's kind of maybe has like an ankh on it or something. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah.
And mentioned to him that my associate and I were actually considering heading to Greece later this year, and it would be wonderful if we could get together and have dinner and perhaps discuss a little business at that time.
And that's where I show up. Because I'm hearing that he's talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And he's not the talker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to ruin it for us.
I might have already ruined it.
Fool.
Yeah, my parents actually like on his head, like pecking him.
We're just like shitting down the back of the tuxedo.
I'm the brain.
You'll have some stains on your shirt.
I'll just wheel backwards.
Yes. So, all right. So, yeah, Sven, you're on the scene.
Okay. Pleased to meet you, Sven Hahn of Sterling and Hunt.
Of course, I noted it on this card.
Excellent. Are you looking to do any side business? We have some things we'd like to trade.
Oh?
Yeah, here's our catalog sheet. Does anything there sound interesting to you?
So he pops in a monocle.
And this represents just a sample, but we have many other more.
Of course, and if there's something that you're looking for specifically, we might be able to procure it for you.
Yes. This is most interesting. I will definitely peruse this when I get a chance. So he tucks it in an inside pocket of his tuxedo jacket. Well then, I think I'm going to go take my chances with Lady Margaret.
Good luck. She is...
Yeah, just trails off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
When he wanders off, I'll kind of pay attention to how he gets along with Lady Margaret. Like, kind of read her body language and stuff. 'Cause I'm...
Psychology roll, please.
Okay. Ooh, I don't know if I'm... Okay, here we go.
I'm an expert at reading people, you know.
I believe she's his mother. Nope. 48.
Okay.
So, yeah, she is... I think she's feeling...
Thomas, she is a bored woman. Even I can't crack that nut.
So what happens? They're just kind of talking a bit?
They're talking a bit, and again, she's just kind of going...
I'm going to wait for him to wander off.
Okay.
And when that happens, I'm going to whisper something to my parrot.
Right.
And then kind of wheel up next to her, but not looking at her.
Okay.
Just kind of like, I'm just kind of wheeling by, like, you know, maybe drinking my hand.
Right.
And then my parrot's going to strike, my wingman, so to speak.
Okay. Your wingman, so to speak. Okay. Alright, so you're wheeling by.
Yeah.
Das Blut.
The other parrot's like, "Rah, du hast schon Augen."
Oh, boy.
You have beautiful eyes. And then I'll spin around embarrassed. My deepest apologies. He's a bit of a gad.
So she looks a bit taken aback. Yeah.
Naughty parrot. Naughty parrot. I truly apologize. I can't take him anywhere.
Yeah, she just looks
Delighted?
No.
Intrigued?
I'll quote from the text here. It says, "She will not speak to anyone who is not impeccably dressed or who commits a blunder in etiquette."
Wait, she will... Oh.
Yeah.
She
I'm not-
won't talk to
Why don't you
somebody
give me
who's
a credit rating roll?
I'm not impeccably dressed.
Would you really call it a blunder, though?
Let's find out. Let's see what that credit rating
Is it my
roll.
blunder or is it the parrot's blunder?
She will not speak to that parrot.
The parrot is effectively dressed.
You did establish that. It's true.
So maybe she will talk to him. Alright, credit rating. Here we go.
All right.
Success.
Ooh. All right. So she she looks less than amused, but she does say in German. She says, "Well, that is what happens when you bring a parrot to a fancy dinner, sir."
Don't tell him, he doesn't know he's a parrot. Still nothing? Just blank?
It's kind of like,
I was just gonna turn around and wheel away. Just wheel back to Sven and just stop.
yeah.
Maybe grab a champagne glass off of a passing waiter's tray.
Yoink.
Alright, let's get this dinner over with.
Yeah. So in due course, a silver bell is rung, and that is the signal for you all to congregate in the next room, which is of course a fancy dining room with chandeliers and mirrors and gold accoutrement. And more champagne is produced, and schnitzels, and so forth. So, let's see. Thomas, you are seated next to Michel de Boursaran.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
And an American who was introduced to you as George Walker.
Is he wearing a cowboy hat?
Yeah. Yeehaw! No,
Pleased to meet you.
everyone's wearing tuxedos.
Okay.
And no hats. Now, you can give me an occult roll when you're introduced to Michelle.
So this isn't... Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Cult is 47.
Okay.
There we go. 4%.
Nice.
So is that some kind of...
Check that occult.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is a special success. So you have actually heard of this gentleman. You've read about him, in fact.
Okay.
He bills himself as a spiritualist.
Okay.
And a medium.
So a charlatan, got it.
But yes, he bills himself as a medium who communicates with the dead.
Okay, and what's his name again?
Michel de Borsavant.
Okay. Have I read any of his... Is he also an author? Or
I would say with a success like that, yes, you have actually read, like a profile on him that had an interview. So you know quite a bit about him. You know, you were recently reading this magazine article or whatever it was.
So I suppose when there's an opportunity, I'm guessing when we sit down to introduce ourselves left and right, I'll say, "Oh, Monsieur de Bossavant, I read about you recently in this,
Right, Spiritualist Monthly."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dean Quarterly.
All right. Ah, well, thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
I found the article quite interesting, especially your opinions on
communication with the dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Transdimensional communication.
Yes, of course. Very good. And then, Sven, you are seated on the other side of the table. You are seated between a Swede named Daniel Coulson. He's a young man. How old were you again?
I'm 21.
So he's about your age. Okay. That's on your right, and on your left is a local Austrian named Klaus Hunderprest, who looks to be in his 50s. So, Hunderprest seems a bit stuffy. The Swede, Coulson, is amiable enough. And in fact, sort of presses you, with some light questions, what is your interest here? I've come for the alchemical lots.
Oh. It's interesting. So you dabble a little bit with the
chemicals.
Chemicals. No, it was mostly just my field of study at university. I wrote some papers on the history of alchemy in the Middle Ages. Mostly interested in greyhound racing these days, actually.
Oh yeah, it's greyhound racing.
It's actually quite an interesting sport. And he begins to go into the history of greyhound racing. And,
you got one of those guys next to you.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, the thing with training a greyhound is that you have to be very careful, etc., etc.
You got a talker.
That's great.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, dinner is otherwise, excellent uniformly. 5 courses.
All schnitzel?
All schnitzel all the time.
All schnitzel all day.
Schnitzel stuff with schnitzel.
Mm.
But yeah, so by 11 p.m., plates have been cleared away. The last of the custard has been consumed.
After dinner, liqueurs all around.
Yes, exactly.
Cigars and pipes and all that.
Very much so. Very much so.
Nice spritzer.
Yeah. Herr Ausperg was, of course, in attendance and was actually getting on quite well with Lady Margaret.
Of course he was. Great finds.
Yes. You actually saw her smiling and laughing for the first time.
What does he have that I don't have?
Gold digger.
I have a parrot, a wheelchair.
I know.
How many more props do I need to bring?
Seriously.
Wearing a top hat? Come on.
Wearing a top hat.
I swear, if I would have had a cane,
I took my
glued
top
to
hat
his
out
tux
to other
outfit, you would have gotten something.
the chiming of another small bell indicates it's time to move on to the next portion of the evening. So Herr Asperg rises and says, we will be decamping into the auction room presently. First, I would ask you all follow me into the green room, where we will you will have an opportunity to take a look at the items on offer.
Okay.
So everyone rises and moves back into the green room, and a table has been set up of fine linen cloth, and on the table indeed are the items, or some of the items, that is. Let's see. Oh, and of course champagne and brandy are on offer, as well as Viennese coffees, and a variety of fabulous pastries. So,
pastries.
Oh, actually, the green room is the auction room. Okay, that makes sense. So, so yes, there's there's easy chairs in the room that you can relax in, and so yeah, basically the way it works is they bring out the item that's going to be offered, and it's set on the table, and then everyone has a chance to come over, take a look, until you're satisfied, and then they start the bidding. Okay. So, there we go. All right. So, lot 1 is the Ankh Egyptian. So the quartet falls silent as the Ankh is brought out, and you're all allowed to file past the table and get a good look at it. So, any interest in this? It is circa 550 BC. It's about 9 inches high, 4 inches across the arms, composed of an alloy of copper and silver, bearing untranslated hieratic markings about the front. First known to be in the possession of Theosophus Magnus, a 14th century sorcerer, reportedly used this item as an adjunct in summoning demons. It was lost when he was burnt at the stake in 1371, and has since gone through several other hands, most notably Lady Maria Spendoza of Madrid in 1587. She is said to have murdered children and bathed the Ankh in their blood to give it supernatural qualities, whence comes its common appellation, the Blood Ankh.
Boring.
Seen it.
Are you sure that
I got one of those back in the
the
shop.
Blood Ankh?
Yeah, I thought we had. Did we have the Blood
I'm pretty sure we have the Blood Ankh.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way we can afford that. You can't even afford the minimum bid. I think we can't afford the minimum bid on most of these things.
Yeah. You'll have to take out a line of credit, I'm sure. Alright, so, very good. So, let's see here. Okay, good. So, so you guys just watch as the bidding gets underway. 4 people bid on it. Tchaikovsky is one of them. George Walker, the American, is another one. Hunderprest, the Austrian you sat next to, is a third. Yes. And then an Englishman named Sir Martin Murray. Sir Martin and Hunderprest kind of go back and forth, and in the end, Hunderprest stands down, and Sir Martin Murray gets the Ankh.
How much did that thing go for?
It went for £600.
That's more than
my entire worth.
Yeah.
Well, it is rather, fantastic.
What are we doing here?
All right, lot 2.
Sleight of hand of 75%.
Oh shit. Blood on.
Yeah, blood on.
Replace
Our blood on.
Which is like a plastic on. Alright, so Lot 2 is brought out. This is the manuscript of Beth Elohim. This is written circa 1580 in Hebrew. Pages are illuminated with gold leaf, leather binding, octavo size, 426 leaves. Minimum bid £60.
Now, this book, transcribed, is almost identical to some cuneiform tablets found in ancient Sumer, by the way. Just a your character background, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, you can make an occult roll. See what you know about this thing.
Alright. Occult roll, I think, is 47. Alright, let's check. Indeed it is. Come on, dice. 82. I think I know that. Pass.
Alright, so yeah, are you interested in this, or?
Well, it is a Hebrew manuscript, so that's kind of a bit of an appeal there.
No, personal appeal.
Personal appeal.
But, I mean, it was also a business opportunity.
Yeah. Now, when you say the books. I mean, all these multiple lots. I mean, they're. It's one of the only books here. There's that one. There's the Magus.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Book of the Law, Prodigies in the New England Canon. Yeah, there's a few books.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this is one that I think. Yeah, you know what? Now, how does this line of credit work?
Well, you'd have to arrange that, after the auction, basically.
Oh, because I can't even afford this. Not even the minimum bid. But you know what? Maybe I'll just bid just
what are your
$80, which translates to about.
Well, that's what cash you have. What are your assets?
2,000.
Oh, see, there you go.
Oh, but that's not like tied up in books and other things.
No, that's like, I mean, that's what you can bring to bear on this auction, basically.
But it's 500 pounds.
500 pounds.
500 pounds. Yeah.
Maybe you know what? I'll throw in a bid.
Okay.
60 pounds.
And 60 pounds. Do I hear 65? No, that's not how he's auctioning.
Imagine that, but in German.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so let's see here. So you start the bids at 60. So Michel de Boursavam, jumps in on it. Let's see. How much he increases bid? Roll 1d6. Okay. So, de Boursavam bids 100.
$150.
Ooh. Let's see here. Okay. 190.
$200.
That seems to be enough for Michelle. And is it going to be enough? Yes. Nobody else bids. Sold to Herr Steinberg.
So that's a nice, cool $1,000.
$1,000.
What have I done? You bankrupted us, you idiot! Albert, I'm gonna have to sell you.
Oh, poor Albert.
That book is easily worth 3,000 to 4,000 American.
Could be.
At least.
So it was a wise decision? Oh well, in your capable hands, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But first, we must transcribe it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yes.
And I must learn Hebrew.
I can't just talk like this.
Yeah. So, lot 3 is the multiple lot. And so they bring out the cassock embroidered with various signs of ceremony and magic, a hickory wand carved with astrological signs, and an athame, which is a long pointy dagger. It is cast from bronze inlaid with silver designs, about 12 inches long. All 3 items are scorched as if exposed to extreme heat. Another occult roll. might reveal a bit more.
I have a cold roll of 5. Default.
Go for it.
Oh, I thought I got a 2, but I got a 20.
I made it exactly.
Excellent. You recognize that those 3 items together are often used in contemporary performance of ceremonial magic.
Gotcha. Okay. Pass.
Yeah. And let's see if anyone else wants to bid on this. Yes, there's a few interested bids. There's a Hungarian gentleman named Leszek Chernin. Then there's that George Walker fellow, Danelle Coulson, and Lady Margaret all put in bids. And in the end, the item goes to Lady Margaret for a mere £100.
So I have the buying power of £100.
Okay.
I'm just saying that, right?
Yeah.
If you have 500 in assets, yeah.
I have, you said it was divided by 5, right?
Yeah.
So I have £400 worth
Yep.
of buying power. No, actually, I have £200.
Now you have 200, yeah, after that. Okay. Lot 4 is the Hand of Glory. This is the preserved left hand of a human, marked overall with mystic designs. When it is brought out, it's quite a gruesome sight. The skin is waxy and stretched over the bones of the hand. Sitting on a doily on a silver platter. Each finger supports a candle, reportedly made of rendered human fat.
Oh, it's grisly.
Mm-hmm.
But let us steal at £20.
Yeah.
No, it's not our style.
It's not our style. It's not our style to trade in human remains.
We're not a human remains store. We're a bookstore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can put it under plexiglass up front,
Oh, yeah, bring in the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
We have books.
Is that a human hand?
Yeah, come
check out our books.
Come for the hand, stay for the books.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is a 3-way bidding war between Lady Margaret, George Walker, and Coulson. And in the end, it goes to George Walker for £150. Okay, lot 5.
Their living conditions must be so drab. With all this dark stuff in their homes.
I know. I go there. Gotta see it.
Switch it out with like a rubber hand. Like birthday candles.
Okay, so yes, next up is lot 5. This is an African fetish of teak wood and hair, about 7 inches tall, in the style of the Hausa tribe of Western Africa, and an African African drum,
Oh, man.
teak wood and skin, irregularly shaped, about 16 inches tall. Brought back from Africa by explorer Winston Reese-Smith, who recently passed away.
You got one on that?
No.
Oh.
Do you have any points in biology?
I don't.
Oh, okay. All right, then. Okay. No interest? No. All right, that one, let's see here. That one ends up going to George Walker as well. Klaus Hunderprest ran up the price a little bit, but it ends up going for $125. And then lot 6, The Magus, book by Francis Barrett, first edition, 1801. It's brought out, looks like it's in good shape.
Do we have one of these?
You've seen them before. Make an education roll.
Ooh, made it by 2.
Nice. Yes, this book helped start the occult renaissance of the 19th century. The author was Considered a learned man by some and a fraud by others, but his book has become one of the mainstays of modern occultism and deals with alchemy, astrology, ceremonial magic, and demonology. So you've seen lots of copies of this book, actually, but a first edition is pretty rare.
But it's less like the manuscript of Beth Elohim is more like something that I'm interested in studying.
Yeah,
this
right.
is more just like if I was a collector, kind of maybe this.
You put it in your kind of front display. Area,
like the Michel de
first edition.
Yeah.
Exclamation point.
I'll pass on this one.
Okay.
Or do you think it's something we should?
I bid 20.
Well, the minimum I think is 50.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is quite collectible. So it depends on how
we could turn around. But I think
Yeah, I'm just thinking turn around, sell 50. I'll start it off.
Okay. Let's see. That's lot 6. So. Okay, Lady Margaret. Let's see if she's going to get in on this. Yes, she is. So she ups the bid to 100.
No.
Okay.
I mean, if I could make a quick buck, I'd.
Well, yeah, I think your thing is more about like the turnaround. Mine's more about like I need that book because I want to read it.
Yeah.
You're in danger of going out of business because you don't want to sell
but then you go through like all my the back stock, like all the shit that I bought, and like we gotta sell some of this, or we're not gonna be able to pay.
We're gonna go broke.
Seriously, dude, come on.
Like fine, I read that. You can sell that one.
So Tycheski gets in on the action as well, and by the end of the auction, Lady Margaret wins the auction with 170.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was a popular book. We should have caught that.
Shit.
At a steal, I would have gotten it.
Yeah.
They're paying retail.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay, so lot 7 is a sword, circa 1350. First belonged to alchemist and sorcerer Paracelsus. It is 42 inches long with a crystal pommel engraved with the word Azoth. Minimum bid £250.
Let's see who the high rollers are.
You can make an occult roll to
I'll make it.
recall a little fact.
And I know nothing of this.
Okay.
Makes sense. It's kind of out of my...
out of your purview. Let's see who's interested in this one. Okay, so it there's some bidding. Klaus Hunderpress puts in the initial bid, but that Austrian fellow Leszek Chernin.
You guys see the next one?
No, you didn't really get to meet him. He was very reclusive.
Oh.
But yes, he gets into a bidding war with Coulson, the Swede, and so.
The Greyhound...
Greyhound enthusiast. And Coulson...
Greyhounds and swords.
Coulson ends up getting the sword for £500.
I heard that greyhounds are great braised.
Oh, shit.
Because you just got burned.
Oh, my God. Alright.
Not away. Why do you do that? The Swede who won
the
that?
Swede won that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're on that lot 8.
I would have paid more than 100 for that sword.
Well, it's because that's all you have.
You wouldn't pay more than 100 for anything.
Are you gonna let me work my deal in the Swede?
Sorry, I suck at this.
I suck at this.
I think that sword's fake.
So, you get a couple looks. And yeah, everyone's just kind of sitting there,
Oh, is this like the intermission?
Well, you'd think so, maybe, but judging by Herr Augsburg's somewhat ruffled outer appearance, like he's...
Psychology roll?
Sure.
It's 10% default, so...
Make it default too. As did I.
Ah.
He appears ruffled.
He appears a bit ruffled. You can't tell why. But the fellow who, has been fetching the items, has not returned with lot 8. And so after several minutes, Augsburg dispatches a second fellow in a tuxedo to go look into it.
Are there kind of whispers at this point? Like, hey, what's going on?
Just kind of looking around, like, what's the hold up,
Okay. What's the hold up?
That's Sassy Parrot.
He's so sassy.
He says what other people think.
That's right. You can't keep him down. So, moments after the second servant leaves the room, the air is rent by a scream. Ah!
Oh, so, I'll... Whoa, like...
You guys can make POW rolls.
POW, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Succeeded.
Here we go.
30.
Succeeded.
Great. So you guys are both free to act as you wish.
Oh, I'm going to pickpocket the Swede.
Well, that's
I'm
one,
going to...
that's one way to act.
I'm going to wheel in the direction of the scream.
Okay. Are you really going to try and pickpocket the Swede?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to bump into him and pretend like I'm like...
You guys are all seated in armchairs.
Like I'm wigging out,
So you're going to fall on him sitting in an armchair.
And then paw at him. Try to pick the sword from his pocket. Oh, no, he doesn't have the
Just
sword.
the money that he was going to pay the sword with.
Gotcha,
Right,
yeah.
right.
That's right, he doesn't actually. As long as he's carrying it around. Yeah, I won.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay, great.
pretend like I'm gonna get up and run, and I'm gonna trip over his feet.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stand up and
Okay.
oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
Let me ask you this. Let me just kind of put a little break on this real quick. Just a little, freeze frame. No, we've been to these before, right?
Yes.
What are the odds that he has like a money clip with just
Fat wads.
of $100 bills, or is it more likely that he arranges something after the fact with the auction
Yes,
house?
that's far more likely.
Right.
With this amount of money transacting.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
How much do we got? 500. He's pulling a money clip.
100, 200, 300, 400.
Wait.
Hey, I'm just thinking quick on my feet. Okay. I'm thinking.
Get money, get paid.
Another day, another dollar.
We're not criminals.
Well, he is.
Well, yeah, maybe you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
Technically, his occupation is criminal.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So,
Okay, well,
so by all means, go for it.
never mind. Carry on.
Sometimes they do have money clips.
Sometimes they do. This guy, obviously, if he's willing to drop that kind of money for a sword, he has money, either on him. Just look at, if you have assets of 500, that means I've got $20 in cash. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, how much is your cash?
80. Get money, get paid.
But everybody's just sitting, right?
Yes.
I'll wait till people start running.
The only person freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, my acting is only 40, so
Oh, okay.
it wouldn't fall for it. I'll wait until everybody else runs hysterically, and then I'll start.
Sorry.
What was my take home, Dave?
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at this in terms of acting plus sleight of hand. I think you would have to combine the two skill rolls. So, let's see. Yeah, you would have to make a roll on both of those skills.
Yeah, but that's to pretend like there's something happening that's not.
Right.
If everybody is already running out of their seats,
Okay.
then it would probably be a sleight of hand roll.
Sure.
Because I'm bumping into them like...
Okay. Alright, so you're going to wait.
Yep.
Okay. So, meanwhile, Thomas is following Herr Augsburg, right?
Yeah, he's, so there's a scream and Herr Augsburg is going back to where they're bringing the items out.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to kind of wheel, because I'm guessing everyone's sitting, but since I'm in a wheelchair, maybe I'm kind of in an aisle seat.
Right.
So I'll hopefully be kind of in a position where I can just kind of like, whoop.
Right.
You're probably just in the aisle, literally.
Yeah.
I don't think back then they had, wheelchair seat spots.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just kind of wheel over. Because I'm curious. I mean,
sure. Well, you can see out in the hall, like in the main hall, basically there's a adjacent room, and that's where they had the auction items. So the person would go into this adjacent room and get an item for auction and bring it back in.
Auction.
And so you can see Augsburg kneeling at the open door of the adjacent room, and kind of spilling out of that door, sprawled out on the floor, is the assistant. Okay. So he's clearly motionless and unconscious.
Ooh.
Trying to figure out something for your parrot to say.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
No. I'm just flipping through this German phrase book for fun.
Just trying to get on a page that might be useful.
Okay.
So I'll kind of wheel up. I don't think I have any.
You have first aid?
I have the default first aid, just 30%. Okay. Just to kind of see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stick your fingers in it.
Here we go. Ooh, God, 83. So I'm gonna say.
Put some leeches on it.
I'm gonna go with. He's got the plague.
Right. So Augsburg's kind of just slapping him lightly around the cheeks, trying to bring him back around. As you wheel up, you can see past the two of them, since one's on the ground and the other's kneeling. The room beyond is just in shambles. The furniture is destroyed. The articles for auction lie strewn around the floor. And the first assistant, who was sent to fetch lot 8, has been torn asunder.
So I'll gasp.
Mm-hmm.
And probably make some kind of roll.
Yes, indeed. You're going to make a sand roll.
Okay. Does Albert need to make a sand roll?
No, he's fine.
Okay.
Whew.
Yeah.
If there was a cat jumping out, maybe.
Yeah. Or if it was a parrot torn asunder, then.
Right. No, you wouldn't want to see a parrot torn asunder for sure.
Sanity roll. Okay, so I need a 50 or less.
All right.
57.
Ooh, too bad.
That is not good.
All right, so you feel as if the ground is dropping away from under you as you lose 5 sand points.
Ow! Is that a that's a 10% drop?
Oh, that's good. Oh, well, let's see. Yeah, that's a 10% drop. So 20% is the one you want to be careful of. But 5 points in one go.
That's temporary.
Temporary. So, goodness gracious. Let's see. Let's try and get this. Try and get these new sand rolls. Sand rules right. So, an investigator loses 5 or more sanity points as a result of one roll. Sufficient emotional trauma has been suffered. So, make an intelligence roll, please.
Intelligence roll. Okay. Well, hey, that's not too bad. Oh wait, actually, I want to fail.
You want to fail this? Yes.
No. All right, dice. It's kind of shitty to me. We need more of that shittiness. No, I succeeded.
You realize what you see.
Okay.
Das ist not eine Schnitzel.
All right. So, let's see here.
When they find me, I'm just like in field position. Das ist not eine Schnitzel.
Let's see here. So, while experiencing a bout of madness, the investigator loses all self-control. In game terms, this means the control of the investigator is handed from the player to the keeper for a short amount of real-world time.
Do I get up and run around?
Suddenly you can walk. It is up to the keeper whether this control takes the form of dictating specific actions or if it means giving the player guidelines on how to play out the madness, however long it may last. On the upside, the investigator cannot lose further sanity points while experiencing a bout of madness. The mind is completely unhinged at this point. Any subsequent horrors are either forgotten or later believed to be manifestation of the madness. Protection is limited. Bout of Madness lasts 1d10 combat rounds. If being played out, may be longer, in which case the bout is summarized by the keeper. Okay, so each time an investigator suffers a bout of madness, the keeper may amend one of the investigator's backstory entries or add a new one.
Oh, already?
Uh-huh. These alterations serve two purposes. The first is to reflect the investigator's descent into madness by adding irrational entries or corrupting existing ones.
Oh, God, please don't do anything to Albert. Albert.
Second entries can be added or altered to reflect events in the story and thus tie the investigator into the plot more strongly. Player and keeper should work together to add or revise backstory entries appropriately. Suitable entries might include wild-eyed, thousand-yard stare, world-weary, or no longer cares for their own appearance under personal description. Ideology. Okay, let's see. Meaningful locations. Okay, treasured possessions. What's your treasured possession? Oh, no, I'm dead. Treasured possession. Oh, treasured possession is your pet parrot. Oh, no! Jesus. Wait, you didn't make that your core. No, you didn't. Uh-oh. It is easy to lose possessions while one's mind is disrupted by insanity. Any possessions might be erased or noted as lost.
Albert just flies away.
Shit. I might have to go that way. I don't know. Let's see here. I could give him a phobia or mania. Okay. Let's see. Bouts of Madness summary. That's pretty good. The bout of madness happens away from the company of other investigators. Or if all the investigators present suffer a bout of madness simultaneously, the keeper can simply fast forward the action and describe the outcome. The keeper may describe. Okay. Alright, so good stuff. Let's see here.
Albert's gone, bro.
You know, I think we're gonna go. The one that makes sense would be a phobia. I think. You know, pick up a new phobia.
Okay.
Probably blood. I'm thinking.
That makes sense.
You know. Yeah. Fear of books. No. Alright, yeah, let's do Fear of Blood.
Okay.
That's your pencil over there. Okay. So, Fear of Blood. Alright, so what that means is, once the initial bout of madness is over, the investigator enters a lower level state of underlying insanity. Control of the investigator is placed firmly in the hands of the player, and freely choose how to roleplay being insane. While the player is not compelled to do so, aspects of the original bout of madness might be reincorporated for the duration of the underlying insanity. While in the fragile state of underlying insanity, any further loss of sanity points, even a single point, will result in another bout of madness. So, in the case of temporary insanity, that is 1d10 hours. I'll make that roll and note it down. Okay. Alright. So, yeah, basically, you know, you look into this room, and then it's just like one of those force push camera effects, you know, it's just like, because all you can see is just all this blood all over the room, chunks of this servant scattered about. He was literally, you know, you can just see like the exposed bone on his upper arms, where his arms are just pulled right out of their sockets, you know. His head is like twisted completely backwards on his torso. Legs bent and broken, one, you know, just torn right off at the knee, etc., etc. And so, yeah, essentially, back in the auction room, you just hear this like high-pitched screaming, and you know that it's Thomas. He's like, ah, ah, ah.
Oh shit!
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else get up?
Oh yeah. Well, now, like some of the people are just rooted to their seats, but others get up.
Anybody near me getting up?
Anyone pickpocketable? Is that what you're asking?
So I'd guess that at my screaming, Albert would probably freak out and like fly, and so he's probably like now flying around in circles of the ceiling, and I'm just kind of locked in my wheelchair, just screaming, staring at nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Herr Augsburg is, jumped up and is kind of, shaking you about the shoulders, trying to snap you out of it, Yeah, so as far as for Sven, George Walker, the American, is kind of pushing past you. See what's going on. What did you do? Well, at least you didn't fumble.
I rolled a 79.
Yeah.
Out of 75.
Yeah. All right. Well, you didn't fumble, so there you go. But yeah, you can't get a good bead on his, money clip or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Not what I thought it would be.
Right. Exactly. So what are you doing?
Gonna head forward. I'm gonna head to his character.
Head down the hall. Okay. So yeah, you see the same thing. Augsburg now trying to work on Thomas, snap him out of it. A parrot flying around at the ceiling of the hall. Yeah, smashing into windows. and yeah, this terrible scene in the room beyond. So go ahead and make a stand roll, please. No. That's a no, I take it.
98.
98, eh? Let's see here. Well, sir,
5 points.
A fumbled sanity roll results in the character losing the maximum sanity points for that particular encounter. He fumbled his stand roll.
So he came around the corner and saw the same thing?
Yeah. Hey, Alex.
There you go. This will be a better option than the bag.
Yeah, a fumble is a 96 to 100, so there you go. So you actually lose 6 points of sand because it was a D6 roll. So
oh shit!
Go ahead and mark off 6 points and make an intelligence roll.
I failed it.
Good. So I'll just need a con roll from you then.
A 1. So I made that.
You made that. All right. So you have to take a couple steps back. You let out a small scream of your own. Clasp your hand to your mouth, suppressing dinner coming back up. But you managed to hold it together. You just immediately dissociate, basically. So.
Okay, Thomas, it's time to get going. Herr Augsburg, it's nice knowing you. Thomas?
Yes. It's wonderful. A lovely evening. Dinner was delicious, and the auction was much to my liking as well.
Splendiferous. Let's go.
Good night.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. So, So yes, you are on your way out the main door, and as Sven is kind of helping Thomas negotiate the stairs, the first of the police response comes screaming up outside, sirens wailing, and so guys get out of the car. You can see there was a kind of a foot patrolman who obviously heard the screams and called them in. Mm-hmm. And as you're coming down the stairs, the footman comes up and he's like, "All right, nobody leave. This is a crime scene."
Nobody leave? I've got an elderly gentleman here with Parkinson's. He needs medical attention.
Parkinson's.
I'm trying to fast talk my way out of it.
Of course. Let's see. Actually, that would be more of an intimidate roll, I think. And you will need an extreme success on that.
I have no intention of intimidating a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Back inside we go. Who's getting some fresh air?
Better to leave the shark in the tank than out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are we the shark?
What?
Are we the shark?
I'm going to be a shark. I'm going to steal a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
So yeah, basically you guys are herded back into the Augsburg house, auction house. You guys are all kind of brought back into the green room area. And Herr Augsburg obviously is off dealing with the police. But some of the assistants are kind of trying to smooth everything over, producing more champagne and that kind of thing, So, not a whole lot really to say, right? Everyone's just kind of shocked. Oh, what do you think could have done it? The man was torn limb from limb.
It was an animal. An animal must have gotten in the room.
You have nothing to add to this. I'm just gonna sit there quietly and wait for us to be let out.
A rather large animal, actually. A predatory cat of some sort.
Wow.
Do they keep those animals here? These types of animals as pets? I know some of the counts like to do that. Have, rare animals. I know that some people collect them.
So Tchaikovsky weighs in on it. So, well, that would be a most most bizarre occurrence, I think.
Well, I mean, what else could it be?
What else indeed? So, in due course, the police come in, this time accompanied by some detectives, and statements are taken from everyone. Why don't you guys make listen rolls?
Made it.
Failed.
Okay. So Sven, you overhear a couple of the policemen chatting after you've given your statement, and they're saying something about how this might be connected to the grave desecrations at the old cemetery.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, in due course, the police are done with you all, and you are released. It is past 1 a.m., and you're free to make your way back to your hotel.
Okay, let's give this one more shot. Okay, Sven? You can do this.
What exactly are you doing?
A pickety-poppity-boo.
You're trying to pick people's pockets in a room filled with police officers.
Yeah, as we're being ushered out, yeah.
Go for it. Do it, man.
Alright.
Oh, I fucking made it.
Okay.
I made it.
One extra thing. I want you to add a penalty dice, which is you roll the tens dice a second time, and you take the worst of the two results.
Doesn't matter to 9.
Yeah, but you're rolling the tens dice again.
Oh.
So you can get a 99.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, that is a little bit trickier.
Mm-hmm.
What's your roll?
89.
Uh-huh. Well, at least you didn't fumble.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew about this new rule.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you know.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Nothing.
No. Okay.
good.
Where do people keep their money here? I thought it would be the pocket, but they must be putting it in a different pocket than I'm usually used
Just
to.
imagining a character like one of the naked guy, like you're reaching to pickpocket, and your head goes completely through the coat and starts pickpocketing like a police officer. You're like, you pull out like a gun. You're like, a gun, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Billy Cloud.
Yeah.
We found the culprit.
I'm having no luck. No luck for Sven tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Albert gave you away.
So, as you're on your way out and failing to pick anyone's pocket, Herr Ausberg comes over just to kind of make sure you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Am I aware that he's picking pockets?
I don't know.
Are you what?
Aware that you're picking pockets?
No.
Okay, so this is just something you're doing. So I take it you're not like next to me then. You're kind of just off doing.
Well, I'm next to you. I'm pushing your wheelchair.
So you're trying to pick... Okay, I feel completely justified in assigning that penalty dice. You're trying to pick people's pockets while pushing a wheelchair in a room full of police officers.
Okay. Well, but I'm kind of catatonic still, right?
Okay. No, you're back. You're yourself again. It's just that any further loss of sanity during the interim 1d10 hours would push you back into a state of madness.
Okay.
So you're feeling, a little shaky, of course, but yeah, you're otherwise okay.
Okay. So yeah.
Terribly sorry, sir. Needless to say, this is unprecedented in the history of the House of Augsburg.
I don't wish to speak with it. I'd prefer to just return to my room now.
Of course. If I may trouble you with one request, though. Kind of looks around. The police wish to keep this quiet for the time being to assist in their investigation, but I know that you deal in these sorts of things. One of the items went missing.
Which item?
It was the brass head.
The brass head. Now is that an item that I got to look at?
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
No.
Would I be able to make any kind of occult roll just based on its description?
Certainly.
Any kind of penalty there?
The riveted.
No, just go for it.
The riveted brass head.
Indeed.
Holy shit! I rolled a 4.
Nice.
Which is under 10%.
Great.
I already have a check in it actually. So.
Okay. Yes, you've heard of this thing. Well, because the catalog mentioned that it was similar to the philosopher's head, that's something you've heard of. Supposedly, a magically enchanted sort of, simulacrum of a human head that could answer questions dealing in metaphysics and deep philosophy. An unknown ceremony evoked it.
Okay. So, knowing this,
Yes.
this I'm guessing is information that Herr Osberg would also know.
Probably.
Presumably, it was just something that like wasn't in the brochure, but it probably would have been described at the actual auction itself.
Possibly, yeah.
So he just wants to know. I mean, his is it
Actually, you got like an extreme success on the medical roll, didn't you? Let's see. So yeah, you've actually heard of this specific head. It's a German artifact from the 13th century. And yeah, it you've actually heard of the ceremony used to evoke it. Actually, that's a bit of information you would have that they didn't. And so, yeah, you've read of this thing that basically you mix like flammable liquid like oil or gasoline with human blood, pour it over the head, and then light it on fire.
Okay.
And then at that point, supposedly the head begins to talk and impart knowledge.
So when Herr Augsburg approaches me, kind of out saying this is kind of your, wheel well or whatever, is he at that point kind of like, is he leaving off like a question like, do you have any?
Basically, like, yeah, if you have any idea who might have wanted to take it, or if you hear of anything, since you deal in this general arena.
So I won't tip my hand yet, but I will say that I have heard of it, and I am a bit familiar with it. I'm only going to be in Vienna. I'm going to be in Berlin for the rest of my life, but I'm only going to be in Vienna
one more day
or another day. So, if I can find out anything during that time, I will definitely bring it to your attention and the police.
The room and lodging is expensive out to Vienna.
Yes, of course. As you sidle up from like trying to pickpocket.
That would explain why you try to pickpocket me.
Yes.
Oh, not him. He seems to know what's up.
But he catches the hint and he says, "Well, yes, of course, the police are doing the best work they can, but I know that you might have some ideas that they may not. And if you feel like this is the sort of thing that you may be able to help us with, I'd be more than happy to arrange for further accommodations."
Question.
Yes.
These books that where I read about these rituals, and particularly the crazy, do I still have them in my possession, or are they something that I had just read in passing and now?
I'd say you still have them, yeah.
With an impale roll, probably.
So I'm thinking that
That's a combo deal.
I mentioned him. I mentioned to him that I do have some books actually on the philosopher's head and some of the lore surrounding it back in my shop, and I could possibly send Sven to retrieve it and come back, but that would mean staying in Vienna for at least a week. If that is something that you feel would be beneficial, then of course we would need compensation in the form of a lodging and a possible retainer, but I'd be more than willing to assist in the investigation to the best of my ability.
I mean, or you can have the police look into it.
Yeah. Well, they are. But he's saying you guys might, have...
We know they're going to come up empty-handed.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm also guessing that the police are...
He says the manner of the burglary was most unusual.
Well, I imagine that amongst just the... And I kind of shudder. The horrific act that was carried out, that there's also a the object itself and its value. There's the reputation of your auction house at stake, and there's also the just a general balancing of the scales that may be in order that is not necessarily something the police are concerned about, but might be of concern to you and in kind of a roundabout way to myself and everyone else who participates in this.
Indeed.
Let's be honest, be frank here. Somebody who's willing to do what they did for that artifact wouldn't hesitate to do anything similar to it again. This is what we must find out. Who would be involved in such a heinous act to try to steal this thing?
So I'll just be frank with Herr Augsburg. Would you be willing to keep us on retainer for a week in order to assist with this?
Certainly.
Return to Sven. Sven, would you mind returning to Berlin and retrieving a list of books if I gave it to you? What's the round trip between Berlin and Vienna, like time-wise?
It would be like 3 days.
Okay. So I'll kind of do a little digging in the meantime. Nothing major. I actually want to spend the better part of a day just not doing any, just like recovering.
Right.
Which I think is part of the reason I'm not really up for travel at this point.
Yeah.
And plus, I could do it a lot faster without you.
Yeah. We're almost there. So we'll do that then. So we'll make the arrangements. I'll write a list of the various books, not only the ones that I know for sure have stuff in that, but other ones that I think might have some information in it. Probably won't be more than a dozen books. Heavy, but I mean still manageable. And then, once he gets back, we'll get to work.
And Augsburg, of course, understands your need to go back to the hotel and, sort of collect yourself. But he asks perhaps you could meet for lunch the following day.
Yes, I believe that would be a nice...
I believe that would be more than 1d10 hours after my episode of Madness, so yes.
Yeah, even if I rolled max. Perfect, yeah. So we'll agree to that, and then get a cab back to the... Well, are we going to be at a new hotel then? He's just going to keep us...
Unless you've got a thing with that hotel where you just basically give his name, he has a tab or something.
Yes, actually, he can get you set up in a nicer hotel.
All right.
Let's see. He can get you set up.
Hotel upgrade.
He can get you set up at the Hotel Sacher. Yes. Which is adjacent to the Vienna State Opera House. Famous for the specialty of the house, the Sacher Torta, a chocolate cake with apricot filling. There's an art gallery in the hotel with works from the 19th century.
Sounds a little better than what we were staying at.
Yes.
With the chalk outline on the floor. Yeah.
Vegas motel. So yeah. There's a shot of the interior lounge. There you go. Pretty nice. Yeah. Okay.
That'll do.
So. Yes, in fact, Herr Augsburg will meet you at the... there's sort of like an adjacent coffee house,
Coffee cafe?
Yes, the very same. That has like pastries and coffee and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So, meet you there around 11:30 the next day. They're able to get you set up with a ground floor room if you like, or their lift does work, so...
Well, if their lift is working, then yeah, sure, I'll take...
A little higher up.
Yeah,
right.
Nice view.
And of course, the staff is on hand to assist you, anything you need.
Wow, that's nice. They're not just kind of, like, kicking my wheelchair towards the...
Yeah. Oh, I remember that other hotel, how they just run up behind me and start pushing me at great speed down the hall. Laughing maniacally the whole time.
I like the
car noises.
I miss that. That's part of me.
So yes, over coffee and pastries.
I depart the following morning, so...
Of course,
like
you're on your way. First train out of Vienna.
Yeah.
So yes, over the meal, Hunderprest fills you in. Essentially, what happened was the burglars tunneled their way into the basement of the Augsburg house. They tunneled their way in and then took a dumbwaiter up into the prep room, because there's this dumbwaiter system from the storage vaults down below, which is where actually the auction goods were being held until that night.
Gotcha.
So they tunneled into the storage vault that the auction goods had been in, and then took the dumbwaiter up into the prep room. And and then did their horrific work. That poor assistant, Conrad. It was just poor timing that he happened to come into the room while they were absconding.
What time was it when they came? I mean, do I know what time it was? Kind of when that all went down was.
It would have been like around. Let's see, the auction started at 11, and you were about halfway through, so it was like quarter of midnight.
And originally, the auction was to take place much earlier in the day.
Actually, originally, I think I kind of messed up the timeline. Originally, the auction was supposed to take place the following day.
So if it did take place the following day, then those items would have still been downstairs in the vault.
Yeah.
So it was a bit. So they actually the burglars improvised because they apparently weren't privy to that information then. They didn't know. So that can kind of rule out really most of the
everybody
people that were
that
at the auction.
talked to the day before.
Yes, he does mention that 3 of the reason he says, there's no point pretending that I didn't notice your attempts to pump me for information about the other auction attendees.
Innocent, of course. We're just business.
Certainly, and I could tell as much, but I was being perhaps a little more tight-lipped than I would otherwise have been, due to the fact that I'd already had interactions with 3 of the other guests that weren't terribly pleasant, and they all revolved around that head.
I see.
3 of the guests approached me prior to the auction and actually attempted to purchase the head in advance.
And when you refused, they were a bit upset about that?
Well, Lady Margaret and Monsieur de Boursevan were both displeased, but they were not terribly upset. But Herr Hunderprest, I was concerned was actually going to become physically violent, and stormed off.
It could have been that they did know, because if the plan was already in place, the tunnel you speak of, did the police follow it to its source?
It was collapsed in on itself.
At estimating the furthest, the closest that it could have been dug, an adjacent building, it would still be quite a feat.
Yes, indeed.
Taking much time.
Yes.
Days, perhaps.
Most likely, yes.
So whoever did it would have knowledge of what was happening and when it was happening, and if the time was changed, probably wouldn't be able to change their plan anyway. They were already committed to this tunnel. Most likely it was either already directly underneath or was ready to go. So the improvisation that occurred with the dumbwaiter was just that. So in fact, it could have been somebody there. It could have been one of those 3 that you mentioned, if they're all 3 are interested. But you would think, being that they were all also at the auction that they would have at least attempted to make a legitimate bid on the head. And then if they were to try anything, it would be afterwards, not before. Why risk, exposure and all the penalty, the bad news that comes with it, and when they could have just gotten it legitimately. So I still feel like it's someone else, someone who wasn't here. Out of curiosity, the body, did it appear to be missing any blood?
Missing blood?
Yeah, it's a difficult. Did the police say anything about a lack of blood? I know there was plenty there. I thought myself.
Yes, there was plenty scattered around. I'm not sure there was any. It seemed like an appropriate amount, if you will.
Yeah, I only mention that because there's something. I'd have to look at my books once Sven returns, but there's something I recall about the particular ritual tied with these types of brass heads that do involve blood, and that would, be in line. But I suppose it could be anything.
I will say that one of the policemen mentioned that the body of poor Conrad seemed to have been rended. There were claw marks in the flesh.
It's a puzzle. I'm afraid for now all I can do is wait, research a bit, and then perhaps once Sven returns, maybe he can speak with these three interested parties and perhaps shed a little light on this.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah.
So we're getting a retainer for this as well, right? Okay. Good. This is trying to be like the character's kind of how am I doing this? It's like, I know why, because we spent $1,000 on that book.
Well, we don't have it, and we could pay a lot of it if we wanted to. I'm sure you wanted that.
Oh, given the circumstances, yeah.
You can say,
yeah, but if also it's kind of one of those things where reputation matters. So like if it were to be something where it's like, okay, everybody, so it was all horrible, but you bought the book, I still have to pay up, but this will definitely help offset that. Okay, so I guess we'll just kind of have the rest of lunch, and then I'll spend some time just maybe taking a museum or something, or just spend time at the hotel just waiting for Sven to return.
Okay. So in due course, Sven does return.
I will, over dinner on the good auction house's dollar, we'll discuss. I'll tell you everything I spoke to Herr Augsburg about. The three possible suspects.
Now, they're pretty wealthy, the three suspects.
Yeah.
And there's a woman involved in it. It's almost like a trinket to her. Like a Ouija board, where they get together and, they perform these seances for entertainment.
I feel that way about the French fellow as well. I think he collects these as kind of for the same purpose.
Somebody who did this knows what that is capable of doing.
I don't know. I don't think that any of them are actually responsible. I believe that if they were, they wouldn't have even made the effort to buy it and then show up at the auction, and then it just doesn't make sense to me. So, but it's possible that they know more about the object itself and may be able to shed some light on.
So just put my hand on a stack of books.
I'll do my research and you do yours.
All right, so library use roll.
Get the books while you
research.
Okay, library use. I think I have pretty good skill. Yeah. So. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Yeah, I rolled a 97.
So Sven brought the wrong books.
Wait, I didn't fail.
you realize that you gave him bad instructions.
You wrote down the
it's
wrong
like
books.
get the books from the shelves in the study. Because you got this like ramshackle bookshelf, your bookstore.
Yeah.
So it's like get the books from the third shelf to the left of the
You got all the books from 3B.
the employee bathroom.
I got the books from 3B.
Yeah, so you gave him the wrong direction.
3C.
Exactly.
So after thoroughly wheeling around in frustration, that's just gonna stop, and then I'll say, you know what, that was my fault. I realized what I did. I apologize for that. I'm gonna head back and do the research myself there, and then I'll leave the books and just bring my notes back. So in the meantime, you stay here, perhaps talk to these individuals, try to find out what you can, because I'm not a people person. And I'll come back with more information. Hopefully that'll be helpful to you.
Okay.
We could stretch this thing out,
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah, I don't mind staying here.
Yeah.
Prime rib is fantastic.
The serpent syrup is amazing.
Their bloomin' onion is awesome.
Awesome blossom, if you will. All right, so what do you want to do?
I'm going to hit the grounds of the Osberg manor or castle or whatever. How big it is, I don't know. I don't think I've seen it in a day.
It's basically just a townhouse. So.
Oh.
Yeah. It's sort of like
I'm thinking like a manor on acreage.
No, this is in downtown Vienna, basically. So. It's like it's kind of like this kind of thing.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it might be a good idea to hire some laborers and try to back dig the trench as like a starting point while we continue. Because if you have a tunnel and it collapses, you can back dig it because the soil will be more loose where it's been dug out. So we can hire a crew and say, fucking dig this. If you reach hard soil, stop and continue where the soil is soft until we get to the point where this originated. And this will happen over a course of a couple of days while we're doing our thing. So we'll just get that started.
Okay.
So I'll go to the local, laborers union or whatever, and hire a couple of lads, and inform Mr. Osberg of my idea, and to employ it, and get the address of where the three other suspects are staying.
Okay.
So I can go and talk to them.
Okay. So the tunnel digging is approved enthusiastically by Herr Osberg. He even calls in some contacts and gets one of his engineer pals to come in and supervise, make sure it's done correctly. No, don't want any cave-ins.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, you start trying to dig up locations of these people. So, do you have any skill? Let's see here.
Probably not. I don't have very many useful skills.
What should we got here? Kind of thinking. Why don't you? Actually, why don't you give me?
Like a half intro or something?
Not an intro. How about an education roll?
Okay.
At half.
All right.
Didn't make it. Okay. So, all you know for sure is that Monsieur de Boursivan left the day after the auction. Went back to Paris.
Okay, now did he pay already for the...
Yes.
Okay, can I get the information of where the money's coming from?
Sure. Yeah, they have receipts.
Like the bank it's kind of like the branch in the bank that's supposed to deliver the money?
Right. So
transfer?
there's a letter of credit from a French bank.
Okay.
It's got his, Paris address on it if you want to go to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Also, actually, you know what? They would have had the information of where Lady Margaret was staying as well, because she would have been, she would have had to give her
credit info as well.
Herr Hunderpress just lives here in Vienna.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can get his address easily enough.
Now, did the police get any of this information as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so they've already talked to them, I assume?
Probably, yeah. Safe assumption.
Okay. Do you have any contacts with the police?
Augsburg?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I've been in touch with them throughout this whole investigation.
Is it possible to get any of their testimonies?
That might be a little more difficult.
If you can. I mean, I'm not by any means stating...
Certainly.
But if you can, it could help us out a great deal.
Okay. I will do my best.
Okay. This will do great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, the laborers get to work. And because the ground is soft and relatively easy to dig through, it just takes them about a day's work. They dig a few hundred yards, shoring it up as they go.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, after about 24 hours of digging, they've gone about a half a mile and have reached what appears to be the end of the tunnel. Strangely enough, it is located under a cemetery.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. It originates on the, kind of bottom floor of a family crypt. The cement floor was broken up, and the tunnel was begun there.
So the police know that the two are linked. They know before the two were linked, before we linked the two.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can I try to remember back when I heard them talking about it, if it was more of a sure thing or more of a speculation?
You can make an int roll.
2.
It was speculating.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Just a lucky guess, I guess. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. And so back in Berlin, librarians. Another fumble.
Okay, success.
Okay. So, all right. So, what were you looking for specifically? More information on the head?
Yeah, since I'm there myself now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for any books that. First of all, I'm gonna look for the books that I feel have direct information about it, where I, remember reading about the ritual and stuff that involved it. And then I'm also going to attempt to kind of pull in other books that might be more, kind of general, informational books that might have little bits and pieces about it that I could possibly pull more information from.
Okay.
Just and try to build up that, group of books that probably I could do the research back in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
How much time would that take? Would it be something that would be better off bringing back to Vienna so I could kind of give updates to Sven as I go, or is it something I could do in one fell swoop?
Well, the sort of superficial research, basically I'll tell you, the book you were looking for is an old Latin tome called the Liber Tenebrea, And it was, just kind of, as you were skimming through it, you saw this rather gruesome engraving of this, head that was made of riveted brass with these, like, human-like eyes, And so you were just kind of reading in that section, and that's where you read about this thing. Otherwise, it's just been kind of sitting on your shelf, you hadn't really gotten into it. So if you wanted to comb through the book and, like, read it more, at length, then obviously you'd want to bring it with you.
Okay, yeah, definitely want to do that.
As far as, like, other stuff in your library, there's really not a whole lot. It's, like, really just chancing upon that story in that book is the only reason you had any kind of line on it whatsoever.
When I skim through this book before I bring it with me, is there any mention of names of sorcerers or anyone who may have attempted that ritual? Like, is there, like, specific names? Anyone that I could possibly then trace through other texts to try to find out what?
There's the only thing in it is just references to some kind of priesthood, an old Roman cult called Hermes Chthonius.
Okay.
And yeah, so just priests of this religion making use of the head.
Okay. So, and I don't have any more information on that priesthood in any other books, or I don't recall, like...
You can make an occult roll. Go with your library use roll.
Success.
Great. You've got a couple books on old Roman religion and that sort of thing.
Okay. I'll pack those up too.
Yeah. Basically, what you find out in that, just from further reading, is that it was a god whose worship was banned in Roman times because it used corpses in its ceremonies.
Okay. So yeah, I'll pack up all those books. Or I guess that's all I gathered from the peripheral books, right? So I'll pack up the one book, the main one, and then also I will send out some telegrams before I return to Vienna to, do I know any other book dealers or antiquarians or anything who are familiar with that period of Roman history and kind of those, particularly that, like, ancient religions and dead religions from that era? Or is that something I would know, being kind of plugged in?
Let's see. There was a thing here in the investigator occupation that made reference to contacts, so let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, there we go, contacts. Make another library use roll, but this doesn't represent you doing any research. This just represents whether you have these contacts.
Okay. Success.
Great. So yeah, you do.
Great. So I'm going to send telegrams out to all of them with my with the Vienna address that we're staying at. Basically, just kind of laying out, hey, I know that you're, this is your area of expertise. Do you have any information you could provide me on this, and this,
Okay.
And, please, if you can, send it to me at this at your earliest convenience. It's a dire matter.
Okay.
And time is of the essence.
Okay. Great.
And then send those off, and then I'll hop on the train back to Vienna with my book.
Excellent. So, you're on the train ride back to Vienna. Go ahead and make me a Latin roll as you read the book.
Are you kidding me? I have 81 in Latin and I rolled a 93.
It's so close to a fumble.
Oh my god, my rolls are just terrible.
I know.
So, I'll just chalk it up to the train ride.
Well, this is actually a good time to introduce another new mechanic from this edition. Pushing a roll.
Okay.
You can always try and re-roll a failed roll.
Yeah.
I didn't bring this up with the pickpocketing because you were already getting yourself in enough trouble. But but let's go back to the pickpocketing for a moment. Had you chosen to push that roll, had you known about the option, you would have had to justify why you could get a second shot. Because it's not a re-roll. Mm-hmm. It's just saying, oh, but I'm going to try even harder to do it. Like, I'm just kind of bumping up against this guy and trying to kind of feel against where his coat pocket is. But you might say, now I'm pushing the roll, so I'm going to actually, fall on the guy, or like kind of what you were talking about before, or do something that's going to give me a second shot at maybe, accessing his money belt, or, if that's where he's keeping his money,
right.
So when you push a roll, what you're saying is, I want a second shot at this, so A, you have to justify why, and B, basically, anyone else at the table can suggest a dire consequence for if you fail that roll. Because essentially merely failing your pushed roll is equivalent to a fumble.
Gotcha.
So obviously with the pickpocketing, you would have been caught red-handed if you had even failed your...
So is that consequence?
By the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that consequence suggested before I decide whether I want to push it?
Yes, and so then you can make a decision and be like, oh, no.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I justify first.
Yes.
Decide if it's even possible. Then the consequence is given.
Yes.
Then I decide whether I want to push it.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'll give us justification. I'll say that I was reading, attempting to read, but I had in my particular birth, I had a kind of nosy, talkative traveling companion who was getting off at some other stop.
Salzburg.
Yeah. But like during that portion, I was like, okay, and I'm trying to read, and and so once he was off, then I could actually concentrate and give it a real shot.
Sure. And in order to do that, you're going to have to stay up, basically for the whole train ride, rather than, you're not in a position anymore where you're able to just kind of leisurely read. You're going to have to really, literally push yourself, and like just be up late at night with your little reading lamp on, squinting at this, this thing was printed in like the 16th century, so it's like, black Gothic lettering and... So I will say that if you fail this, there's going to be some sanity loss, not a huge amount, not enough to drive you insane or anything, but you'll lose a bit of sanity just from pushing yourself so hard.
Okay, I'll go for it. Okay, there we go. Success.
Okay, and how well did you succeed?
I made it by 50... Let's see what we got here. 54 points.
54 Is it under the half mark?
Yeah, under the half.
Oh, perfect. All right.
I rolled a 27, my skill's 81.
Excellent. So you made a hard level difficulty. Go ahead and check your Latin there.
All right.
All right, and so you decamp from the train the next morning with bags under your eyes, having stayed up late reading this thing.
Yes.
But
you look like shit.
You look terrible. But you got something out of it. So let's see. Okay. Good. So that counted as an initial reading, and in order to do a full study of the book, that will take many months. And let's see. Okay.
I got a really good roll in my libraries, right?
Yes, you did.
That was what I was able to
definitely check that as well. Yeah.
I failed every roll.
I haven't rolled.
Don't I learn from my failures?
I'm rolling a lot of 90s.
No.
You know what? Actually, that should be a house rule. You get a check on your critical fumble.
I think I have used that house rule in the past, actually. Another one I like is if you miss your roll by 1, you still fail, but your skill goes up by 1 point. Because sometimes when you come so close to succeeding, you're like, oh, if only I'd done this one thing differently, or whatever, right?
Learning moment.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, yeah, the book describes, this sort of underground, literally underground cult, right? He's kind of this messenger of the dead, and there's much talk of, contacting the dead, communing with the dead, and so forth.
So the medium guy, what was his name?
Michel de Bourcevant.
Good call.
That's our guy.
Okay.
Now, let's see here. There are some rituals in there. It describes how to use the brazen head, but there's also a ritual described for, as it puts it, contacting the burrowers beneath.
Okay, that's an odd phrase.
And there's also a ritual described for, as they put it, contacting the defiler.
Okay, burrowers beneath and defiler. These all sound pretty bad.
Oh, it was not a nice book by any means. However, your Cthulhu mythos is increased by 4 points.
All right. Does that decrease my sanity?
A max sanity. Max sanity is now 95.
99 minus Cthulhu Mythos.
Okay. All right. So yes, I'll share this information, and I agree that at the very least, that is the connecting factor why he was interested in it. Maybe not he was the one necessarily who committed this, but that would mean also that he was interested in it for more reasons than just as a trinket. If he's thinking, if he has read something similar to this and it says this was used in communicating with the dead, it's probably something that he would, at the very least, use as a prop. At very worst, actually attempt to activate. And he went back to Paris, right?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like several days behind you, or ahead of you. And I've got his address and I've got her address, right?
And where's her address?
At another hotel in Vienna.
Vienna. And then the other...
in Paris.
But the other guy lives in Vienna.
Yes.
Well, I'm guessing that those two are probably our easiest ones to speak to. If we're going to speak to them. Before, heading to Paris would be timely. It would take a while and be expensive. And you said that you trace the...
Now the gravesite, were any bodies missing?
From the tomb?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it is connected, but...
And it says the family tomb. What's the family name?
The what?
The family name?
The family name was von Junst.
Is there any way that I can go to like a genealogist?
Yeah, you can do that.
There'd
be a library use roll.
Oh.
So let's kind of just take a kind of a general picture of what's going on here.
Right.
So this cult that has, according to most scholars, been died out hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, is now apparently still active, or at least there's a resurgence, which makes sense since recently there's been a sort of resurgence in the spiritualist movement and these societies, the kind of Golden Dawn and so forth. So my guess is that someone got their hands on an ancient text, probably something similar to what I've read, and kind of there's a revival of this, and this object was something that they desired, and
So as he says that, I'm thinking back to the first guy that we met, and we handed him that list of things that we have. Was that book on the list?
it wasn't. The list we gave him was pretty
Basic.
Yeah, it was a lot of just stuff, the common stuff, and then we tantalized him with, hey, if there's something else. But this book wasn't on that list, and he never asked about it. I don't think he was particularly interested.
No, I mean, if this book was on that list, and we'd be able to see, try to remember if he had any interest in certain things.
I don't believe so.
But if it's on the list, then it's not on the list.
I think right now our best bet is to talk to those parties who are interested and just see what they have to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should send a messenger to see if they'll receive us. Would that be the proper way to?
Yeah, or you could just show up.
That's okay.
Yeah.
How about the who are the two that are still in town?
Lady Margaret.
Yeah.
And Klaus Hunderprest.
Hunderprest is the medium.
No.
He's in Paris.
Yes. Yeah. So let's visit Klaus Hunderprest, and then we'll visit Lady Margaret. And see what's to be seen. I flipped that. Let's visit Lady Margaret first.
Okay.
She's at a hotel, so I'm assuming that she'll be easier to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just see. Maybe we'll be. Just test the waters.
I think our lead is in Paris. I think we should head to Paris as soon as possible. We've already lost a week.
But if we head to Paris and it's not there, then we lose even more time. At least this week, where these are two leads that are here in Vienna. If we head to Paris and we're wrong, and we come back, it might be too late. At that point, the so-called trail is cold.
Okay.
Or we can split up.
Great idea.
Well, no. Okay.
Okay. So, yes, she is staying at the Hotel Metropole, another very fine hotel in Vienna. And, so, you get her, or you head up to the front desk and, put in your request to see her, and they call up to her room, and she keeps you waiting about a half hour, and finally comes down to meet you in the lobby, looking impeccable and gorgeous as always. Yes.
I'd like to ask a few questions if you don't mind.
Very well. I'm due to board the 4:55 train in 3 hours, though, so do try to keep it brief.
Oh, are you heading to Paris?
No, I'm heading back to London.
Oh, that's right. May I ask what your interest was in the brass head?
It's a bit forward.
You seem like a woman who knows what she wants to talk about, so I might as well just cut to the chase here with you.
Very well. I'm an associate of Mr. Crowley's, and I wish to purchase the head as a gift to him.
Mr. Crowley.
Yes.
Mr. Crowley.
He's one of the great men of our generation.
So you say.
So I say, indeed. I will hear no talk against it.
Okay. All right, well, been great.
May I ask you a question?
No. Thank you. And I walk away.
For our heels. Okay.
She's she's looking looking at you as you walk away. Thomas sees this, just squinting icily at you. Her face is a mask of cold fury.
She's probably not used to that. Being turned down. Denied.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's her.
It's not.
Yeah. You may have made an enemy. But
that's fine with me.
I don't think she's behind this.
I'm already
okay.
on to the next person.
I'll just kind of shrug and then wheel off.
Well, she could have asked you.
She wouldn't talk to me. I have a parrot. And besides, my parrot now is wearing a Hawaiian shirt, so...
Oh, God. Of course.
Not a grass skirt, too? Or?
No, just please.
Dude.
Come on, be serious.
Focus.
Alright. So, Hunderpress next?
Yes.
Alright. So, the address you find is also kind of in the old town area, but in a less economically prosperous section, off of the Forstrasse. And the taxi lets you off outside of a dilapidated 3-story building.
Dilapidated 3-story building.
I look in some windows before we knock.
Alright. Basically, there's just a few windows on the ground floor, and they all have drawn curtains.
Oh, I thought we were kind of pretending we were living, above our... But he's living in an abandoned house.
Yeah.
Seems a little suspicious. Just a little.
Well, it would make sense why she wants to buy a book for him. I mean, if he has no money.
This is no. She was like Aleister Crowley is who she's buying the book for, right?
See, I'm getting names mixed up.
Yeah.
But she wants to buy the head, not the book.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Head, yeah.
So, okay.
How much are you canvassing this building? Are you just kind of glancing at windows, or
just the windows on the ground floor? If there's multiple windows. Before we knock, because
front of the building. Are you going around the building?
Can I go around, or is it like those ones you showed me, where it's like?
No, it's not like there's like a little alleyway,
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll case the joint. I mean, that's
Okay.
I'm basically checking to see if it's abandoned or if it's just.
It looks run down, but it does look like it's in use.
Water meters running, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the back of the building, there's like what looks like probably a cellar door. But other than that, no other, remarkable features.
Can I make a listen roll? See if I hear anybody inside?
Yeah, sure.
7.
Ooh. It is quiet as the grave.
An interesting choice of words, Dave. Okay, so I head to the front and knock.
So, surmounting the short flight of steps that leads up to the front door, leaving Thomas on the sidewalk, you note that it looks like this place has been converted into apartment flats, because next to the door there's little labels. Top one says number 2 Adolf Lieberman, manager, and then number 3 R Horst, and then number 4 Dr. Wolfgang Dornheim.
They gave a false address?
His address wasn't... It was just that.
It was just the street address, yeah.
Street address.
Yeah.
false address, probably. I'd bring the manager up and see if the manager's in.
Mm-hmm.
But it might just be a false address. Seems like the most likely option.
Ringing the bell?
Yeah, the manager.
Okay. So, after a minute or so, the ground floor door opens, and it's an older man with wispy gray hair. Yes, can I help you?
I'm trying to find a Mr.
Hunderprest.
Hunderprest? And the information I was given was this address. Clearly I'm mistaken. He doesn't live here, does he?
Well, he does.
Oh, so is he renting the basement?
I'm really not comfortable talking about my tenants.
Well, I'm a good friend of his, and wanted to surprise him with something I won from the auction.
Make it fast. Now, I'm going to tell you another option from the new edition. You can spend luck points. That's why they're indicated like sand points there. You can, for every point of luck you spend, you add to the skill you're trying to roll under. But those points are lost, so if you later make another luck roll, you're rolling against your modified total that you've spent against.
So you said it's a 1-to-1 ratio, or
It's 1-to-1.
Do those luck points regenerate between adventures, or like anything?
They do regenerate, but not very quickly.
And can you add them after you make the roll, or is it a before?
Oh, it's probably before.
That doesn't sound very good. You could spend 40 points and still fail the roll. If it's one of those things where you miss
I have 75%.
Afterwards.
I have 75.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, just roll.
Go for it.
Roll those dice.
Just wanted to let you know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting rid of this dice. Can you get rid of that for me?
Yeah, I'll flush it.
I need another one. Where's another D10?
There's another red one there somewhere. That's right there. There you go.
Oh, actually, no. You can spend luck points after you've made the roll.
Oh, okay. What did you get? Were you off by a lot?
I rolled at 89.75.
So you could spend 14 points of luck and make the roll.
Alright, I'll do that.
Okay. Yes, you cannot spend luck to offset a fumble, however. Mm-hmm. Nor can you spend luck if you're trying to push a roll.
I was going to ask that.
And you'll never get a check if you spend luck. Okay, so he clearly doesn't completely believe you, but he's just kind of like, okay, whatever, fine. Yes, he rents the basement area. That was not originally intended to be a residence.
Yeah, it's not legal.
Correct. I do try to rent to the best tenants possible. And Herr Horst and Dr. Dornheim are both highly creditable people. But about 3 years ago, Hunderprest came to me wishing to rent an apartment. I told him there was no room. He said he was interested in the basement. He had already apparently scoped it out. And he even offered to have it refinished at his own expense. He was also willing to sign a 5-year lease. So...
And, okay.
Did kind of roll up, down the bottom.
Yeah.
Does he allow you into the basement, or does he just keep it locked up?
He keeps himself to himself. I saw it a bit while he was working on it. It looked quite nice. He was putting in oak paneling and brass fixtures.
Interesting. All right, well, I suppose when he returns, would you tell him that we came by to see him?
Certainly. Do you have a card to leave?
So I nod to Sven.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
Yeah, I mean, you saw what he did there, right?
What?
By saying when he comes back, let him know.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So, I think that's our cue to,
Do a little B&E.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might be a little, I don't know, unless he has a ramp. Does he ramp? Is there a ramp going down?
No, I mean, I got this, dude. I made this little apparatus. It's like a backpack
Oh, my God.
with 2 little holes in the back.
Nice.
And you just hop in it,
That sounds great.
and I strap you in,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then it's got,
Yeah.
like, supports on it, metal supports.
Naturally, yeah.
So
Ooh,
that, like, on my legs, so I can...
That's a great idea. I mean, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But I have a good one, too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Bionic legs?
close. I'm thinking that on my wheelchair, I can have spare tires that are on the back
Uh-huh.
that look kind of like gears instead of wheels.
Yeah.
And I can attach them and they'll be my stair wheels. So then when I go downstairs, it'll just... Are you...
Making a note of what part to cut out. Yeah. All right, so...
You know what I mean? So like when I go down the stairs, it's like...
Yeah.
And it just perfectly goes downstairs. And then when I get to the bottom, I can slap back on the real wheels.
Or obviously you can just help.
Yeah, from
set
behind,
down
yeah.
the stairs. Okay, so you're going around to the back of the apartment.
Engineer idea.
Right, you're going around to the back of the apartment.
Hey, I'm onto something.
No, I'm saying if I was your...
Oh my God!
Dave.
Just move along.
Yeah,
move along.
don't put this part in because I don't want people stealing it.
Right, no, you don't. All right, so anyway, you go around to the back of the stairs. What do you do?
Open it up.
You're just gonna go up to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's locked.
Oh, you know what comes before entering? This is I'm not making it.
It's called breaking.
There you go. All right, do you have a lockpick
Of course not.
skill? Excellent.
I've got nothing, actually, to help me with this. My character's pretty worthless.
You made a criminal and you didn't take lockpicking.
Yeah, because he's not a thief.
He's more of a smooth criminal.
He's a smooth criminal.
Right.
I mean, he'll take advantage of a good situation.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, breaking and entering and skulking and sneaking around is not his forte.
Let me see what we got here.
He's more up front, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Calling you out of stuff.
All right, that makes sense.
So he said, what would it be under? Locksmith?
Yeah, it's 1%.
Ouch. Okay. You could always spend 75 points of luck.
Yes, you could.
I'd still fail.
Well, that would come after the roll. See how many points of luck I need to spend. Are there any windows leading into the basement?
In Area 1.
What do you think? You want to try to give it a shot?
Yeah, I mean, I have to look around for something on the ground, a pipe or something I can use for leverage. Put it in there and twist it. I'm assuming it's like a lock, right? Like a padlock?
No, it's just like a doorknob with a key lock.
Oh, so it's just a regular door on the ground level?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm thinking like, you know...
So storm doors?
Like basement entry kind of thing.
No, I mean, there's stairs leading down into the ground, you know, and then the door's kind of set.
Well, that's kind of handy because then we can kind of be more sneaky about it.
Yeah, we're like in a little alcove.
I say we try to just pick that lock with,
blow some luck on it. And
just blow some luck on it. Well, I mean, depending on what I roll.
I'm down to 60, so yeah.
But what if we roll 5? We only have to blow 4 luck points.
That's true.
Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a shot. 82, so...
That's out of your
no
first
luck there.
Yeah.
Alright, here are my 10s, right?
Yeah.
0.
Oh, shit!
I need a 1.
Oh my god, if you actually rolled this. No! You son of a bitch!
You beautiful son of a bitch.
Oh my god! He rolled a 0-1 on a 0-1. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, check your lockpick.
Magnificent. All right.
That's amazing.
What do we even? We probably didn't even have lockpicks. What, like, just
like a cufflink or something. I saw this in a movie once.
Yeah, a credit card.
Yeah. Hey, that worked. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, business card. You probably just like.
Yeah, it turns out it's a really cheap lock, and you're just able to kind of jimmy it with a little bit of force in your shoulder, and
That's almost like he didn't close the door all the way kind of thing.
Exactly.
At 1%. Yeah, but it's like, what are the odds?
Yeah, he used an indoor doorknob on his outdoor door. All right, well, beyond you see a long oak-paneled hallway with multiple doors down the length.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's roll.
That's not making a joke. I have actually something I realize now. Probably I didn't realize it till I'm actually down at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
But if for whatever reason we have to flee, I'm gonna have a very difficult time getting out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not going to find anything here other than things we don't want to see. But I don't think we're in any physical danger.
Okay.
I think they're long gone to Paris, whatever is what's happening. This is going to lead us to our next step. Hopefully, that's what we're gambling on.
Okay, so let's go down there.
Yeah.
Lead the way.
Okay. So obviously everything's dark. There's no windows or anything, but there's a little push button light switch right on the interior wall as soon as you come in.
So the door that I came in, just
softly close it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Turn the lights on.
Yeah.
Turn the light on.
All right. So just like the landlord said, nice brass fixtures. Lights come on, illuminating the hallway. You can see basically two doors close to you facing each other, and then beyond that on the left hand wall 2 more doors at intervals, and on the right hand wall 2 more doors kind of down towards the end of the hall. So which do you want to do?
Go to the right and continue on.
Okay. So easing open that door, you see, turning on the light switch in there, what appears to be a sort of living room. Let's see.
Okay.
Sure.
See you tomorrow.
See you later. All right. So, it's a living room type environment. Very well appointed. No expense has been spared in decorating of this room. There's a couch, 2 chairs, various side tables, cabinet with a variety of liquor in it, small radio. So, fancy.
No exits.
No exits.
Alright.
Alright, we'll check another room.
Okay. Left wall of the hall, or keep going down?
Keep going down the right wall.
I'd say, we don't want to check each door just in case.
Okay.
Because they're opposite each other on other sides of the wall, right? Just kind of go right, left, right, left.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So this one, opening the door and clicking the lights on, you see obviously a library and reading room. So, yeah.
Any specific books open on the desk?
No.
Okay. Next room.
Okay. On the opposite wall, back to the other wall.
Right side.
Mm-hmm. Opening that door, clicking on the light, you see it's a dining room. There's a table with a setting for 1 person, and a door on the south wall of the room.
Okay. I'll head there.
Okay. This opens into, obviously, a kitchen. There are dishes in the sink that look like they've been sitting there for weeks. And no icebox. There's a door to your immediate left.
Okay, assuming pantry. I'll check.
It actually goes back out into the hall. And there's a door opposite you.
Okay, so it's probably where the hall turns. I'm guessing if that's where it comes in. You know, it's like two entrances, one from the kitchen and one from the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll head back through the dining room to the door that's opposite the door that we came into the dining room.
Okay. So this gives access to a bedroom.
Okay.
This is a completely disorganized mess. There's clothes strewn about, drawers half open, dirty plates on the floor.
Do I see any, like, clothing or anything, or any, like, dust clods or anything like that around? Like pants that you would wear digging or around dirty areas?
Oh, signs of
dirt.
Of having dug.
Or been near a digging site or something. Boots with mud caked in it.
Make spot hidden rolls.
Oh yeah, that's a good skill to get.
Too bad I didn't put any points in it.
Nope.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't put any in that either.
My Call of Cthulhu skills are a little rusty.
And I failed.
Okay.
So,
Spend any luck on it, or?
I could actually. I got pretty close, so I'll spend 7 points of luck on it.
Okay. So you don't find any dirt clods, but as Thomas is sort of wheeling around the parts of the floor that you can, you do spot something kind of glinting in the light from the light bulb overhead. And kind of leaning forward out of your chair, you reach down and pick up a diamond ring that's kind of just in amongst some clothing. And at that point you realize that the ring is still on a finger bone. So, sand roll, please.
Alright, here we go.
There's no blood.
No, just a skeleton, a bone.
Oh yeah, I failed, of course. Why wouldn't I fail?
So you lose 2 points.
Okay, good. Good.
Meanwhile, Sven, as you are casing the place, you walk past what looks like probably a closet door. It's a little narrow. And there's kind of a sickly sweet odor emanating from behind the door.
I don't open it.
Hey man,
I know what's in there.
we need answers.
No, this is where they brought the bodies that they dug up.
What if it's something else? What if it's what was it, sickly sweet?
What if it's some sweet and sour pork?
What if it's some sickly sweet pork?
No. I know what's behind this door. Let's continue on.
We're here to find answers, man.
Hey, you're free to go check it out.
Look, dude, I just stared at this finger bone, and it scared me. I'm not in any state right now to be opening doors where strange odors are coming from, but you...
And not gonna open that door.
You've got what it takes. Oh man, what's behind that door?
What's behind that door? Is he in front of the door?
Yes.
Are you in front of the door?
Yes.
I open it and close my eyes.
Oh my god. How are you going to wheel past him to open the door?
Okay, so I try to wheel past you.
Oh my god.
Oh god, let's go. Come on. So we continue down the hallway back around to where the kitchen was, right?
This was basically the end of the hall. The hall went straight down, so dining room, kitchen, bedroom, like that.
Oh, so the kitchen opens up into a different hall?
No, the kitchen opens the same hall. You went down,
gotcha.
dining room, you kind of did a little U-shape back out into the hall, bedrooms
That's
there.
sickly sweet door, dude. That's the only thing.
Could be the bathroom.
Yeah.
Under pressure's bonded up.
Alright. Yeah.
There's no ventilation down here.
You eat 7 courses of schnitzel, you're gonna...
There's a body in here. And it might have been the one that they dug up.
What I'm hearing is a lot of assumptions. I'm just gonna be out here in the hall.
Oh, right.
You go in there and do what you gotta do.
Okay.
You open that door and you take a nice good look at what's inside.
Okay.
Deep, telling look.
Just keep your eyes... Don't blink, just keep your eyes open, just take it all in.
Just take it all in.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
So you're opening the door?
No, I walk in, wait a minute, and then... There's nothing in it, it's rotten food.
Ooh.
Do I know what he's up to?
You can make a psychology roll.
Dude, I'm gonna fast talk your ass.
Yeah, you'll need a hard success because of his high levels of bullshittery.
How about a major failure?
Total fumble. You believe every fucking word. You know,
Really?
it's just like rotten food. Why would he do that?
Yeah, it's
I guess this guy's innocent. I mean, you got a finger bone. Who doesn't have a finger bone?
Right. Maybe it was a chicken bone.
No,
It sure was a chicken bone.
Yeah.
Do you really want to know what was in there?
Wait, I thought you just said there was rotten food in there.
Yeah. I didn't want to scare you.
What's in there? Sorry, you know he was lying to me about rotten food, right? That doesn't mean any kind of bonus to seeing through his bullshittery.
Oh no, dude, this is part of the bullshittery.
But I also know he's a bullshitter.
Yeah.
That's why we work together.
That's true. You are a known bullshitter.
It's a decomposing body.
Wow, now he's lying in the other direction.
I don't know. I don't understand what's happening.
You want to go in there and see it?
Do I want to go in there and see it? No, I think we should bring the police here.
Okay. That's a fantastic idea.
Okay. Calling the police.
You didn't see the brass head or anything in there?
No.
Brass head wasn't in there. Great. We'll tell the police exactly that. We'll say the brass head isn't in there, but there's bodies in there. We're going to tell the police, and you're going to tell them that that's what you saw.
Uh-huh.
Great. I love it. Love this idea.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be lying to the police, and there's no way that they could find that out.
Yeah, and let's do it. Up we go.
Alright, but first let me get one thing. So I grab the back of his wheelchair.
Yeah. And just dump him out of it and run.
That would be great.
Just get one thing.
Okay, so I start screaming.
What do you actually do?
I'm gonna go open and look at it.
You're really going to go look at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, call my bluff.
Okay, so I'll wait. I'm not sure what you're going in there to do. You already looked at those dead bodies in there.
Or rotten again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the two.
You couldn't get
Make up your
enough.
mind.
He has to go back for some more. Okay. Alright, so open that door. What does he see?
It is indeed a closet.
Mm-hmm.
Make a spot hidden roll.
What'd you get?
It's gonna be a 50-something. I have 25.
Burn those luck points.
Alright. 25. So 55, 25. I'd have to spend
30 luck points.
30 luck points.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'll spend 30 luck points.
Okay.
Yeah, burn that luck up.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, so it is a closet. The smell kind of comes rolling out to overwhelm you. And for a couple seconds you're like, oh, it's a really stinky closet. And then you notice that there's a trap door set in the floor.
Alright, I pull it up.
Alright. I'm going to need you to make an intelligence roll.
Yeah.
Make it at half.
Failed.
Alright, Right, so there's no obvious mechanism. There's no hook or latch or anything. Yeah, pressing on it doesn't seem to do anything. So you can try again.
Push it, you mean?
No, just, see if you can figure out the mechanism.
Oh, okay. Just burning daylight?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Potential success if I get a 0.
Excellent.
No.
Okay. You can try again.
Potential success. Nope. I'm getting close. Very close, by the way.
Good.
Oh, God. Are you keeping track?
Yeah, I'm keeping track.
Hold on, I gotta check out one thing. Like an hour later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, succeeded.
Great. So after 20 minutes of poking around, you do indeed find that there's like a button on top of the interior door jamb, basically. You hit the button and little latch releases, and you can see little indentations on the inside of the trapdoor where you can put your fingers and lift it up.
Okay.
As you do so, the stench triples in strength, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'll need a con roll, please.
Failed.
Okay, so you don't throw up, but you are forced to kind of step back and pull your pocket handkerchief out and cover your mouth.
And reeling.
Yeah. But you see basically a hole in the earth with a ladder set into the side, going down into darkness.
I figured.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what you see.
You have to spill them over there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you saw things in the closet. So what do you do?
Alright, I come back. Alright, look. The reason why I said that there was food in there is because... Or rotten food.
Oh, by the way, he was gone for like 25 minutes.
Okay.
He was in that room for about 25 minutes.
So, I guess I would have called to him at some point, like...
yeah, and he would have answered, right?
Yeah, I'd been like very frustratingly. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on in.
So after a good amount of time. Or are you coming back out?
No, I mean, if you called out to me, that's what I would have said. So I was spending 25 minutes trying to find a secret latch.
Gotcha. Okay, so I come in then.
Mm-hmm. So he has found the latch, right? And the room stinks worse than ever now.
There's plates on the ground, right?
Yeah.
But then I realized as I came back to make sure, double check, because the food was in there, I realized that there seemed to be a plate here. So I'm trying to find the place to get in there. I already found it.
Okay, so all right. So it's now open.
20 minutes later,
have you
it
been
got
down there already?
No. See, yeah.
Wait, because I was out of the room.
Right.
So did you guys already go down there?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so that didn't happen. Okay,
Nope.
so we're not like rewinding.
No,
We're not rewinding at all.
Okay.
No.
We're real time, baby.
Okay. Then in that case, well, I'd love to go down there, but can't do that.
Yeah. Well, remember when the proceeds are split, that they're split accordingly.
Ooh. Oh my God! He's going down. Now, as you prepare to climb down, there's a ladder set into this hole going into the ground. Okay. You can see there's also wires going down, like electrical wiring, and you see that there's another one of those push button light switches right at the top of the ladder set into the. You're gonna go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So I'll peer down as he's going down. I'll wheel right up to the edge and kind of look over.
Yeah. So click, and like down below, like all of a sudden now there's light coming up from below you. And so it's it's about 60 feet, and there's obviously a room down there, and you turn the lights on.
60 feet down?
Yeah.
6 stories down.
Yes.
So when I do that and realize how deep it is, I'm like, I freeze and just like, and just make a listen roll to see if I hear anything.
Listen up.
Commotion now that the light on.
Listen up, people.
Okay, well, I'm in the 70s. Okay?
You're going to spend some luck?
I'm going to have to spend luck, but how much is on this dice?
Okay.
9 points. I'm not going to have any luck.
What are you down to?
23.
Ooh. Alright. So, let's see. So you just made it. Alright, so yeah. No, you don't hear anything.
Alright.
I'll be right back. Alright. Clink, 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 clink.
So I'm leaning over the hole watching him go down.
Clink, 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 clink. And so you reach the bottom. And, you know, there's a little bit of a drop, so you drop down. You're looking around. You're in this room. Basically... Oh, actually, on your way down, make an education roll.
Nope.
Okay. Thomas, since you're looking down the hole, you can make one as well.
I roll that. 60.
That text is way too fancy.
Yeah. Damn you fancy dice. Yeah, I made it.
Made it. So Sven's like halfway down, and you're kind of looking at the walls of this hole. You know, clearly it was dug.
Yeah.
Right, it's just earth walls. But you realize it was dug from below up. It wasn't dug down from the closet. So go ahead and give me a sanity roll for that.
So you're about 3/4 of the way down when Thomas's body falls past you. Yeah, you're grabbing his head. Alright, here we go.
Right.
Sanity, 43 or less.
Okay.
Yeah, why wouldn't I fail with a 90?
90 even?
90 even.
Okay. Let's see. So you lose 1 point from that.
Okay, yeah.
As you let out a gasp of horror. That's something else I like about the new rules is anytime you lose sanity from a failed roll, even if it's 1 point, something happens. So like it's like or you know, or something you have, or you throw yourself into a pit. No, but you have some kind of visceral reaction, which is great because I could just totally see a situation where you have to like keep trying to keep quiet and you fail a sand roll and like the cultists are like
or like you're you know kind of trying to hide from some pursuer and you like hide in the closet and then like this corpse like falls on you and
you're like even if it's just 1 point, you know, you're not like going mad, but you're just like, you know, oh shit, and then he's like, oh hey.
Hey, you're in there.
Alright, so meanwhile, Sven, you've reached the bottom of the hole, you drop down. So basically you're in this chamber, it's dug out of the earth. The walls are being propped up by marble slabs from like crypts and mausoleums. You know, you can see all the people's names carved on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are tapestries made of black shrouds hanging across the room, interwoven and knotted around various bones, human bones. The electric light is just like a naked light bulb, so it's kind of giving everything this really harsh, ghastly light. And yeah, it's just eerily silent. So go ahead and give me a sand roll.
$90.
Okay, that's a miss. Yes. The dice love me tonight. You lose 6 points.
Oh, you know what that means.
So go ahead and make an intelligence roll, please.
Oh man, come on. What? I bet.
Yep.
You made it. Okay, so you realize the full horror of the scene before you. And, let's see.
Are you going to hand that character sheet over to Dave?
Well,
or no?
What I'm going to say is up top in the closet. So Thomas is down there. You hear his feet hit the ground as he drops down the last few feet. And then you just hear this shrieking, right? And then you hear what sounds like a door banging open and a bunch of like feet padding across bare earth. And then the shrieking just gets higher and higher in pitch. And then you hear rending sounds of flesh being torn. And this kind of weird, like, ape-like hooting and gibbering.
Oh,
So I need
righty.
a sand roll from you.
Oh, shit, okay. There we go. What's this?
It's a 3, I think. 30.
Yeah, I made it.
Made it. Okay, so what do you want to do?
I want to close that trap door.
Uh-huh.
Sven,
It's nice knowing you.
you were a good friend and a good business partner, so close that.
A lousy pickpocket. Yes.
I'll close it, and I'll begin wheeling myself frantically out of the room.
Oh, I love it. So, the hell?
It's a female.
Oh, that was you. Okay. So the trapdoor shuts, you know, and you're wheeling yourself. Now, of course, the room is strewn with all these clothes and stuff, so it's kind of an obstacle course. So why don't you give me a dexterity roll, and I'll need a half or less on that.
Question.
Yes.
Wheeling in there.
Yes.
Would I have possibly been lucky enough or have enough foresight to push stuff out of the way so I could even... like, or would I
Lucky enough, you say. Why don't you give me a luck roll?
Or would I have just, like, wheeled over the piles of clothes?
Well,
to get
no,
to
yeah.
the...
Give me a luck roll to see
Okay.
if the gods are in your favor in terms of wheeling yourself back out.
Okay. Yes, the gods are in my favor.
Okay, good. So in that case, okay, I'll say in that case you can start to wheel yourself out without a roll.
All right.
So let's see here. So yeah, as you're wheeling out of the bedroom, you begin to hear something banging against the trapdoor.
Okay, I am wheeling the fuck out of there. So straight down the hall towards the door to lead out.
Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is we're going to break out the chase rules. So, let's see. All right.
But there's steps. There's stairs.
Exactly. That will be an obstacle. So, you've got a little bit of a head start, which is good.
What time did we go? Was it daylight when we went in there?
It was like late afternoon, yeah.
Late afternoon, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so head starts, so I wheel towards that door.
Okay, so let me get the stats for these fellows. Let's see here. Okay. And... Alright. So they are going to... Let's see. Alright. Each character gets a number of movement actions per round. Every character and vehicle gets one movement action by default. To this is added a difference between their movement rating and the movement rating of the slowest participant in the chase. Okay. Let's see. And your move was 8. Oh, okay. So that's pretty good.
In the wheelchair, it's 8.
Yes.
In the wheelchair, once, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so there's one movement action. Okay, so basically they're going to move up there. Okay, so you wheel out into the hall as you hear the trapdoor shatter. Okay, So now you are wheeling towards the door, and let's see here. Reaching the door, that is going to be a hazard, so what I'll need is a dex roll from you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can I burn luck on dex rolls?
Yes, you can.
Okay, here we go. Got that kind of luck. 85 and my dex is 15.
All right, so
I tried to turn the knob the wrong way.
hand.
Exactly. So yeah, you're trying to like reach forward and turn the knob, and your hands are sweaty and they're slipping on the knob.
And the wheelchair's probably like wheeling out from
And
under
the
me.
wheelchair's wheeling out behind you. Yeah, exactly. And you hear something running up behind you, just making this kind of hooting noise.
All right, I'm going to, holding onto the knob, I'm going to, with all of my might,
Yeah.
try to kick the wheelchair back at whatever is coming at me.
Oh, okay.
Just
I
kick
like
it out
that.
completely out from under.
Do you have a brawling type skill there under combat?
Combat,
Or weapons?
Are we going to kick yourself back?
Well, just push them.
Yeah, I'm not using my legs, yeah.
All right.
I'm just like, I'm holding onto the knob and I'm in the wheelchair, so I'm just going to like, whoop, and try to force it back.
It's under the weapons, actually. Front page.
Weapons,
Brawling.
unarmed?
Unarmed. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, so just roll against that.
Which, just roll against fighting, it's 25%.
Okay.
Okay, fighting 25.
There we go.
Okay, here we go. Come on, lower. Oh, 97. How about that?
That's a critical failure, sir.
That would be a fumble.
How do I push myself and the wheelchair back?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, actually. Uh-huh.
Like my slippery hands, like I was trying to hold on and just push the wheelchair,
Yeah.
but my hands slipped free, and then I just.
Uh-huh. That's exactly it.
So sad.
That's maybe one of the saddest. Well, I'm not going to preemptively say saddest deaths, but that's one of the saddest deaths I've ever seen.
Right into the beholder's mouth.
Well, so basically, yes, you push yourself back. This sort of earthy smell is enveloping you, and it's like earth and rotting flesh mixed together.
Great.
And you are being sort of grasped or grappled by these massive ape-like arms with like coarse hair growing over the forearms and these long fingernails that are just caked with dirt and also fresh blood.
Good.
And whatever it is also wearing like a black cloak because you can see the sleeves.
Excellent.
So let's see here. So basically, what the way combat works. Glad we got in a little combat right here at the end. Is that you're going to roll your fighting skill, and I'm going to roll mine, and they're like opposed rolls basically.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your fighting skill.
My fighting skill is at 25%.
Mm-hmm.
91.
Wow. Okay. Well done.
Yeah, these are some
This
fancy,
kitten
fancy
does
dice.
not have claws.
No.
Oh, no.
It's actually soft padded feet.
Yeah.
With paws.
Meow.
Yeah, my fighting skill is
Not so much.
not so much a fighter.
Okay, so you take 9 points of damage,
All right, sure.
and also need a stand roll, please.
Of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm point away from unconscious. Let's do the sand roll. See what happens.
Sure.
Okay, sanity. I failed. 62, and I have a 42 sanity.
And you lose 6 points. I am on fire.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great.
Int roll, please.
Oh, good.
It was great that you realized what's happening before you died.
Oh, yeah, that
At
makes
least I just got instigated. I didn't realize.
Yeah, because you were mad already.
Oh, of course. I rolled really low when I was making my intelligence roll. So like 18, and my intelligence is 80.
All right, fantastic.
So
and one last thing,
exactly what's happening.
One last thing to perhaps save you from all the terror that's occurring here is that since you took a major wound, you need to make a con roll.
Well, you might just fall peacefully asleep.
Yeah, the oblivion of unconsciousness.
Cool. Failed.
Great. So even as your mind breaks from realizing that this literal nightmare monster is about to kill you, as you feel your bones shattering, as it's ripping you from the wheelchair, you pass into unconsciousness and oblivion. And thus ends your adventure. Sadly, 2 weeks later, Klaus Hunderprest successfully invokes the ritual of the Brazen Head in an effort to recontact his deceased wife.
Oh,
yes,
good.
Yes. Instead, he releases the servitor of the outer gods that is contained within the head. It kills him, and then goes on to kill one person for every year that it has been imprisoned. 350. So
okay.
Vienna suffers its worst murder spree in history, as hundreds of people are killed by this little rubbery tentacular beast before it flies away to further adventures in the cosmos.
All right.
So great job, guys.
Yeah, I call that a win.
Yeah, 1 out of...
Yeah,
pretty busy.
yeah, that's pretty good. Turning on the light in the basement, not a great idea because it tells the ghouls you're on your way down.
Yeah. That was
It's almost like I didn't even want to open that stupid door.
Yeah, almost.
I know.
Well,
What would have happened if I didn't even do that?
I listened to an actual play of this adventure, and that is how they ended it, where they were just like looking at the closet, going, "Fuck this," and then they just went and called the police.
Yeah.
You know? So that's always an option. You know, Hunderprest gets arrested and blah blah blah. You know, I ran this once before, and that was fun because the group went down. You know. Come on. And there was a whole thing where, like, you know, they turn the lights on. And so basically the ghouls are down there. And when you turn the lights on, they're like, oh, and they go into, like, this antechamber that's, you know, they quietly close the door and they wait for you to come down. And so, like, the first investigator came down and was kind of looking around. And the second investigator was just above, you know, like, still on the ladder when the ghouls came rushing out. And they're wearing their black robes, just going, you know, like, loping out. And so I think she blew her sanity roll and went crazy, but because there was another investigator on hand, there was a chance for her to get saved. So he was like, basically like, he's hanging onto the rungs with one hand, and he pulls his pistol out and takes a shot and impaled his roll and like actually took out the lead ghoul. And that, you know, gave him enough time to like kind of grab her as she's like babbling and screaming and like, you know, start climbing back up. And since he killed one of the ghouls were like, you know, oh shit, you know, less inclined to come after him. So that was fun.
Yeah, that seems a little more heroic and successful than it would have.
Yeah, but oh man, it was nip and tuck. You know, it was like, because I think there was a thing where like the ghouls were still kind of coming after her as she was getting dragged up, and it was like came down to me just missing an attack roll as they tried to grab her ankles, basically. And it was really. You know, I mean, if you go down there, it's you know, you're probably going to die, honestly. So, and going mad from realizing you're in this, like, weird crypt thing. Oh, yeah. What I was kind of hoping you guys would do was to, like, just kind of leave, but not call the police. Because you left your card, like, Hunderprest would have known you were onto him. And so there's a whole thing there where he's got this, like, network of street thugs working for him. And so he would have, like, sent them out to kidnap one of you and kill the other one. And then the one who got kidnapped, probably Thomas.
Yeah, I'm just going to guess.
Would then, like, wake up in this coffin, you know, like, about to be sacrificed to the Brazen Head, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, ooh, that would be fun. So
I think that turned out pretty good.
It was good. It's one of my favorite scenarios.
Yeah, and that last little bit there, the You know, because it's just one of those things where it's like the whole wheelchair aspect, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's always there, and it was always kind of like this thing. It was always just kind of like, oh, a little flavor, and then at the very end, it became this major, like, his, you know, and because I was thinking about that too, going down the stairs, like,
What is his son doing?
what if I need to get out of here? How am I going to get out of here? Like.
Yeah, seriously.
And I was even getting to the door. I'm like, all right, if I manage to get this door open, I'm going to have to ditch the wheelchair and start climbing up and hope that maybe someone sees me or I make it up to the surface.
Help!
You know, before, you know, without being dragged down the stairs. You know, the door slams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was great.
Very nice.
Good.
Mm-hmm.